he's like mixed or something, or maybe it was the lighting. No, he just looked mixed in the clip I saw.
It's probably it's definitely the lighting, if anything.
Okay. I was like, what? Did they actually put him in blackface or something? What the hell?
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. It was definitely the lighting.
Good afternoon, folks, and welcome to Smudcast number 200. Woo! We're at number 200. If that means anything to anyone, I know it means something to someone out there. So be sure to share the love, because what a great Sunday it is to be alive, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, shut up, Zach.
There you go.
Hey,
all there is good timing. All there is somewhere is there's like old Grandma Smud in a wheelchair going, yay, 200, knitting a little 200 shirt for Smud somewhere.
You're not too far removed from the reality of being freezing. I wish I had some more wool around my ankles, but yeah, same idea. So, welcome to number 200, Decolonizing Games. The Conquest of Dread. This is the Conquest of Dread. This is the actual channel.
Swear to God, thought you were going to say the Quest for Peace.
No. Sorry.
No.
So, this dude, Conquest of Dread, has 6.3 thousand subs, and this video came out 2 years ago in December, and it has 12,400 views. So it's hard to wrap your brain around the first few minutes, then you realize what the hell he's actually talking about. So this is a long video.
Is he?
Oh, I just now saw the time on it.
What?
Does he actually have knowledge of colonization, or is he just taking a quick?
Fuck's sake! That's why we have the Brit here.
Okay, I would have to say no, just up from what I've heard, because he's very sparse. What he's trying to say.
It's just critical theory shit. It's just basic.
Now, it is about video games. So there's lots of like, okay, look at this game, look at that game. That's fine. That's cool.
Yeah. Mario is the biggest colonizer of all, of course, because he contributed to stealing the Mushroom Kingdom from the mushrooms and luring
No, you got it all wrong. Remember, Mario's a communist.
Just because Smud has Italian heritage does not give you the right to call him Mario.
I do have some relatives called Luigi. So yeah, believe it or not.
Yeah, well, that's their name.
Really?
What a coincidence!
Have you explained to them that that's very stereotypical and like racist? That they have names named Luigi.
Well, the full name is actually Luigino, but Luigi is what everyone else would normally associate.
Wow.
When in fact, their real the names they would call him is Gino. So Luigino gets shortened to Gino.
Yeah, Gino.
And that's how it goes. So it's not the first part; it's the last part. But that's not important. It's not. Who cares?
I'm gonna go on Twitter and tell everybody that your family.
Wait, you said Gino. That just reminds me of the fact that he got cut from Smash again. Gino.
Yeah. Gino is cool. I do like Gino from Super Mario RPG.
Whenever I think of Gino, I think of that like Saturday morning cook on British
Gino
TV. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I'm so confused.
I have different viewing habits to the rest of you. I do apologize.
Such a fucking boomer.
Don't worry about it.
He's a good chef. He's actually pretty good. He's very Italian. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Iron Chef.
I think he puts it on a bit. I think he exaggerates.
You think that, but
yeah, probably.
But
he's good at cooking.
To the average Italian, it's like no, that's Tony. It's Tony down the street. That's what he does.
Yeah, it's Tony.
Hey, Tony.
It's Tony Soprano.
American cooking shows.
Hey, Tony. How does this channel have 6,000 subscribers? That seems like a lot to me, Tony. That seems a bit of a large number to me, Tony.
Yeah, Tony.
Oh, this one's
done.
He does a good breakfast. Whoa.
Alright,
Pizza.
Let's get down to business here, shall we?
Pasta.
That's all you know about Italians. It's just food. It's like okay. All we do is eat in Italy. Okay.
Alright, anyway.
Really bad New Jersey accent. That's all I know about Italians.
All right. Okay, so this is, as I was saying, a long video. It's 33 minutes and a half. This will take at least 3 hours if we're good. So we're not going to be good, so it's going to take longer, and we'll probably have 2 of them if we want to do 2. This might be completely boring.
Oof.
I haven't watched all of it yet.
Yeah.
But lots of strange takes. So just wrap your brain around the first 2 minutes, and if you're with us so far, let's keep going then. Okay.
Get your bingo cards out, lads.
Oh boy.
No, thank you.
Oh Lord.
Biological essentialism, wanton genocide, the mindless hoarding of capital,
Fucking
subjugation.
What? Wow. Okay, I
Wow,
am
just
already
going down-
gone.
Automat, just right out of the gate, going down the list of all these things.
Murder.
Like, oof.
Can I?
Great
can I
way
say
to start
he
video.
showed a game called Empire Total War, which his entire thing is to make an empire. Cool.
What'd you call me?
I called you a little bitch, but I was talking about Empire
Well,
Total
you're a
War.
whiny little Brit.
Yes,
whiny
that's
little
why I'm
Brit
here.
any.
So
That's why I'm here.
right off the bat, we got colonialism bad, capitalism bad. What else is there? Subjugation.
We're 11
Great White
seconds
Mountain
in.
Bad.
Wait,
hang
Smud,
on,
is this
Can
the
we
fa-
play that again? I missed that. But
Smud, is this like
What
the
did he say?
fastest mark for bingo
No.
ever?
That would be Renegade cut before the video even starts.
Oh,
Oof.
Read the title.
Yeah.
by the way,
Yes.
Hawk, this one's directed at you, so I'm playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla. For those of you that don't know, you get to go to England and basically raid and pillage to your heart's content. Chesterfield, Westchestershire Field, your home hamlet, is just to the left of where the map ends.
Oh, cool.
So what I'm gonna
That's
do
fine.
to make up
Yeah.
for the fact that I can't burn down your little hamlet town, I'm gonna burn every town along the border just to send a message to your, I don't know, clan,
Tribe.
tribe. There you go.
Cue the Mega Man X7 clip. Burn to the ground.
No, it's just gas.
gonna step on the gas.
It's Eurobeat?
Yeah.
Really?
So you just want to burn my ancient village down.
So I'll tell you, I fucking researched this shit. So first of all, I wanted to make sure that I knew what town you actually lived in, so I knew where to burn. So I saw that email that you posted earlier, put that into Google Maps, and then I had AC Valhalla on one screen, I had the map on one screen, and then Google Maps on the other screen, and I'm like trying to match up the landmass and Leicester. That was like a big point for me that I was able to
Literally went out of your way to map
Whatever.
that shit out.
Yeah, I mapped out and compared an AC Valhalla map to actual England. And I was as soon as I found where Chesterfield was, I was like, "Fuck! It's just off the screen. Damn it!"
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm glad everyone's having a good time
friends.
playing their games and wanting to take over good old England, but let's try and conquer this video.
Colonization.
And slavery the races. These are all bad things, right? We can agree on that.
Your voice is bad. What the heck? Also, we can agree on that.
Who's we?
Yeah.
Are we fucking speaking French now?
Yeah.
Yes,
what all did he say?
It's fun.
Hawk, fuck you because you stole my joke.
He said so many things
Hawk,
so fast.
go fuck yourself. Just like a colonial Brit to steal my joke before I even say it.
Yes.
Yeah, just this guy's voice. I don't know what is happening on the screen right now for his little intro, but
His voice doesn't seem very into the video.
I'm pretty sure someone just tied this guy. This isn't actually Dread. Somebody just found a guy on the street.
Well, within the context of a video game, say you're playing a game like Civilization, the whole point is to colonize and take over land and control it. So that would be a good thing in the game. If you're talking outside the context of a game, then you could argue, well, yeah, maybe certain countries shouldn't have done this or that. Fine.
Mhm.
But we're not talking about that. We're talking about having a game
Yeah.
experience.
It's
So-
what we talked about yesterday. Go ahead.
One of the
I'll
games
finish
one of the
my
games he showed is literally Empire Total War, which is all about the Age of Empires, 1701 to I think it's 1914, where every European nation was making empires. So in that game, you can play as numerous European nations making like empires in America and in parts of Africa and India. And so the entire idea is to build an empire. So yeah, it's
This video is just fucking moms against colonialism in games. Like
Yeah.
this is like
bear
fucking-
in mind in that game, but that with Empire they cut out the slave trade as well. So even though the slave trade is huge,
Cringe.
the game actually cuts it out. As in, like, there's no mention of it. There's no way to engage in it or stop it or do anything like that. So yeah.
that's
Just like in
extremely-
real life.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I only know that because I've got about 4,000 hours on my old Steam account on Empire Total War.
Kinda sad, actually.
Or someone in the chat just asked this, but somebody asked if Valhalla's map is geographically accurate to the UK. For the most part,
Probably
the
not to
major
scale,
beats,
though.
major landmarks.
Yeah, I think-
the scale is obviously shrunk.
I think the Ubisoft games do a decent job trying to get not just the buildings, but the general layout of a city.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
They did good. I like it. It's so
And
far.
that is the whole point, to try to be as historically accurate as possible in terms of the layout and the environment.
Yeah. The only problem is that in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you drink an Asgard potion and then go to Asgard as Odin.
Well, that's just game logic, I guess.
By the way, I'm not kidding. I have a screenshot where you go up to the table and it's press F to drink Asgard potion. And it's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Just like real life.
No, not that. No.
No, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is alright. I'll let you know when I beat it and get my final judgment.
Hey,
I had a point
DECOLONISING
earlier
games.
that I was going to make, but I can't really remember
That's okay.
what this dude was
You'll
talking
remember
about.
later, Zach. It's okay. Let's keep going.
Will I remember it?
No, but the thought that counts.
Well,
They're all
Maybe if you
these
believed
things
in me
we've
more,
decided
I
are a
would-
bad time, and when possible, we actively work to debunk or prevent these things.
Okay.
Like, if the YouTube algorithm dumped you into a video where someone was talking about the stat bonuses light-skinned people have over dark-skinned people,
Okay, so wait, we're just
Is this one of those videos, isn't it?
When is that? When have you ever heard?
I was with him for
So
a bit.
what, dude?
I was
So
with him.
fuck, I don't give a fuck, dude.
I was with him, and I was keeping up, and then he said that.
And then he lost you.
So, what's that word on the bottom left? Is that fantasy or fantagy?
Fantasy, I think.
Yeah, it's just got a fancy S. It's fine. That's
It's
That's an
old-fashioned S.
It's
S's
fine.
used to
It's fine.
in the old days. S's used to look like F. So in writing, so I think he's trying to be a bit. Well, whatever this is, a bit. Ooh, look, it's oldie timey.
I'm surprised you didn't look at the top right and see racist ?
Whoa! Yeah.
With a red line under it too. So he went from what was it, like fascism, xenophobia, murder, colonialism. We all
biological
don't like these things,
slavery.
right?
First thing he said was biological essentialism,
Oh,
which is, I think, what this is supposed to be getting at. But it's like, I don't give a fuck. dude. Like, it's okay, one fucking example, right? This shouldn't be controversial at all. Dark-skinned people are more susceptible to getting vitamin D deficiency, right? Like,
Yeah,
that,
but
like
in
is
video
that
games,
hateful?
have you-
Is that hateful to say that? Is that like,
Yeah,
oh
but
my
in
god,
video
you want to kill them because
Yeah, it's just
they're different,
science.
'cause they're different, like,
It's just basic.
yeah,
It's just
no.
basic biology and science.
Yeah, but also, when have I
Okay,
ever
wait,
heard of a
everybody
game-
pause. Everybody pause. This is important. I just Googled biological essentialism because I don't know what that is. Third result. incels.wiki/w/biological essentialism.
What?
So I'm just gonna give that a little clickaroony. Oh my
Biological
god.
essentialism is just the idea that that traits are mostly determined by biology, or that it's but it's just it's just this leap from, if you believe this, that because it's not necessarily hateful, like even if it's incorrect, just attributing it to, well, that means they hate people for whatever trait. Like it doesn't it just it's just this leap in logic.
So I've posted something in the chat for you.
I can't really read that screenshot for some reason.
I can read it fine. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. They're
Basically, it's just the fundamental fact that just people are different.
Biological essentialism is the claim that biological instincts cannot be overridden, and therefore activism to change the way most people naturally behave on a timescale shorter than thousands of years of human evolution is a waste of time and potentially dangerous due to the increasingly draconian means that are expected to be used to enforce the change.
Like, the belief that you can change people's beliefs, that people's beliefs are infinitely moldable, is what leads to re-education camps, right? Because it's the belief that you can just propagandize people into believing literally anything, and that there's no sort of limits at all to that. It's just kind of silly to act like there aren't some biological things that just the idea that people are infinitely moldable in terms of what they believe is just silly.
Yeah.
Oh, you're black-pilled. Also,
Like,
apparently
it's
black pill
dumb.
is a thing. So biological essentialism has gained popularity in the, I don't want to say that, incelosphere in the late 2010s.
What the hell?
That sounds
Some
like a
biological
fucking epic
essentialists, black pillars, promote fatalism, believing that it is impossible to change female nature, gender essentialism, so we should just, quote, give up. Other biological essentialist black pillars, like Jordan Peterson, say one should embrace natural human behavior and use the resulting hierarchies to enforce monogamy to solve or at least mitigate the incel problem.
Okay,
That's
You know what?
That's not that's a
hello, base
no.
department.
You know what?
But I'm pretty sure that's not what Peterson thinks, though.
You know what? The
So-
real people trying to change how people think are the yahoos that come up with this shit. Straight up.
The bottom is bad. Oh my fucking god! The little table that says black pill is so good. We got biological essentialism under theory. We have biological essentialism, eugenics, anti-environmentalism, traditionalist conservatism. Under marriage, we have slut, monogamy, marriage, arranged marriage, polygyny, polyandry, anti-lookism.
All the pills.
Oh,
Yeah,
this
we
is
got-
What are
White
you?
pill, dick
bald
pill,
pill.
bald pill, shit pill, dog pill, bird pill, teen love
God.
pill.
All right, I think
Yeah,
I think we're
okay,
going a
okay,
bit
yeah.
off topic here, guys. Let's just sort of meander back
Yeah.
to the video.
Yeah,
Like-
let's
like
go
the
back to
alternative
the video, please.
The alternative
Please, before things get any
extreme
stupider.
to biological essentialism is just that people are just completely blank slates. Like, there's just
Yeah.
no differences in what people tend to believe, and it's all just
Yeah.
society, right?
Yeah,
It's all we live
But
in a society.
in terms of a video game, have you ever heard of any game that says that? Well, apart from probably South Park, where you get any benefits from being lighter skinned.
Yeah, obviously.
Fractured but whole.
There's only one
Yeah,
case.
Maybe,
There's one case I can think
maybe the closest thing to this that South Park gets is in the 2 video games, the 2 RPGs, Stick of Truth and Fractured
Yeah.
But Whole, where
But
the
it's
black
also
character
dumb-
it makes the game harder to play, but even then, that's just a
Yeah.
joke.
But it's also dumb
Yeah.
because this isn't even what racists believe, right? That, like the idea that racists see like a fucking albino Nigerian as like my fellow white man, like you know, like no, that's fucking retarded. Like they don't look like albino Nigerians, and I mean like native Nigerians. They don't look like white people. They look like black people with white skin. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not just one trait. Like no, like this.
You just broke my
thing
brain.
Is not what anyone actually thinks. Like no racist is just gonna go, oh, my fellow white man, you know, looking at an albino of any other race. They're just going, well, they're white. Oh, that's the only trait I care about. I literally only care about skin color. Like nobody fucking does this, but people constantly say like, oh, you only care about the color of their skin. Like this is
no, we
aimed
don't.
at anyone who actually exists.
There
A
are
lot of white supremacists don't like the Irish.
in regard
So,
to regarding to games, there are D&D rule sets that based off your species, you get certain racial traits, but I do recall from Pillars of Eternity and Pillars of Eternity 2 that you can specify the region of where you come from as well, and that will give you certain skills or certain bonuses to skills. So, but that's a game rule set which has nothing to do. This is all made up. Like there's nothing to do with reality. So, it doesn't really matter.
but as in specifically the color of your skin makes it, makes any difference whatsoever.
No, of course not.
No,
Well, it does to vitamin D deficiency. I mean, in real life, it does to vitamin D deficiency. But so that's just an example, right? But according to what he said, right, because he hasn't specified only intelligence or only personality or anything like that. He's just said any stat bonus, any quote unquote stat bonus.
Yeah, I've never seen
that. If you claim it in real life that there's any kind of stat bonus for the color of their skin, right? That's in and of itself hateful.
Yeah, and
that's just nonsense.
There's no racial stats, meaning the core stats like strength, agility, etc., but skill stats or skill values. I've seen that. So maybe there's another rule set I'm unfamiliar with, but it's very niche. It's very specific to one game. So with this setup, like charisma, because you're black, I've never seen that. So I have seen intelligence to being an elf, though. So.
Yeah, but you can also be a white and black elf. So
for sure. Exactly. Yeah. Anyway,
I just find it a little racist that white elves are just called elves and the black elves are called the dark elves.
No, well, there's high elves as well.
There's high elves. There's dark elves, meaning their skin tone is like
they're just high as fuck.
They're the marijuana activists.
They're just that's where they get their magical power.
To be fair, it's like as shit as this movie is, Thor: The Dark World has the dark elves as white, so that argument is invalid.
You're invalid.
I'm thinking of like the color.
Yeah, you're not heckin' cute and valid. Okay.
I'm trying to think of like when you look at dark elves in D&D, like they're pewter colored, sort of. They're sort of like that metallic, dark,
pewter?
gray.
I don't know what pewter is.
It's like a gray metal.
Pewter.
Yeah, gray metal.
Yeah, they're kind of that skin tone when you look at them.
Yeah,
gray, so kind of ashen colored. Yeah. So that's about it, though. Yeah. Other than that, their cultures are completely different. So.
Pewter is a malleable metal alloy consisting of tin and antimony, copper, bismuth, and sometimes silver.
The Falmor in Skyrim and the Elder Scrolls. What? Is there like the? No, are they the Dark Elves? No, they're not the Dark.
No, wait, what?
No, the Falmor.
The Dark Elves.
Falmor are the high
elves. The high ones in the the Elder Scrolls.
Aren't the Falmor just green?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're yellow actually, but we don't talk.
Yeah, yellow. Well, they're some other color, but
yeah.
Anyway, I think
I
think we've gone enough on this topic.
Different colors of elves.
All right, let's move on.
They're all shit anyway.
I'm having fun.
Full of shit, right? So it's totally fine when they have pointy ears.
No, you wouldn't. You would know.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
They're actually retarded.
Why is it? Why is different colors okay when they've got pointy ears?
Can I run that back? Can I run that back?
Sure.
No.
All right.
Do it.
I'm not doing it.
Just press left.
Yeah, just press left. Do whatever you want.
There you go.
someone was talking about the stat bonuses light-skinned people have over dark-skinned people, you'd know they were full of shit, right?
No, you wouldn't.
So how come it's totally fine when
No,
they
you
have
fucking
pointy
wouldn't.
ears?
Wait,
Those are different species.
So-
As we just talked about, okay, we just said this. Species have different stat bonuses in D&D rule sets, and I'm sure there's other rule sets that mirror D&D rules. That's it.
So when
Yeah,
we talk about, so if something like this, we have examples of this in real life. Black people typically are more susceptible to sickle cell disease. I forget what it's called.
Anemia.
Yeah, sickle cell anemia.
Sickle cell anemia. Thank you. And if I'm not mistaken, white people are more prone to skin cancer.
White people, and white people are also more likely to not be lactose intolerant compared to like there's all these things where it's like, how the fuck could it be society, right? How could it be society? Like, people
you know
don't
why
learn.
it happens in society. You know,
you know?
why people are racist?
like,
It's because of preconceived notions. It's because of the old world still affecting the new.
Yeah.
And we need to be able to learn and grow and learn to appreciate people for their character, not for their skin color. And just because you're gay, black, Asian, lesbian, bi, transsexual, whatever, I don't give a fuck. You don't get my respect. I mean, you get a baseline respect from me, no matter who you are.
The baseline should be
something,
just...
unless you do something to break it.
Oh,
Someone
fuck,
died.
he's dead.
Oh no, he's dead.
He got fucking colonized.
He got colonized. You get a baseline respect. Just the decency of how you treat human beings on a daily basis. But you don't get anything special for being anything else. That's about as far as it goes in society. Now,
but it's like
if
the
somebody
idea that
is racist or whatever, that's something that will eventually be weeded out.
But it's the idea that you can claim some quote unquote stat difference, right? That you can claim that and still respect them, right? The idea that inherently means that, you don't respect them, you hate them if you think there's any difference.
Oh, you're saying this person is inferior?
So
like, no.
So so fucking what? I mean, even if I was, it's like that. I can respect people that I think are inferior in whatever way. Right, and it's not even placing a value judgment on it, right? Like if you're saying like I don't know, they fucking make jigsaw puzzles faster, you know? Like it's like, is that fucking hateful? You know, it's like it's just an arbitrary thing, and you're not even putting a value on it, and you still respect them. You're like, I just think they are 0.1 second slower on average at making jigsaws or something. You know, so
sorry, go ahead.
I'm going to say, I think of all of you lot as inferior to me, but I still respect you enough to listen
It's because you're British, and it's ingrained. It's ingrained in you to think of the rest of the world as basically yours. You just haven't claimed it yet.
Yes.
Everything in the world is mine. I just haven't planted a flag on it yet.
All right, let's keep going.
Do you have a flag?
Yes.
Most games reward you almost exclusively for violence.
What the fuck?
For moving from area to area, planet to planet, strip mining all resources to fill up endless...
Oh, eat the entirety of my ass, dude! Okay, No Man's Sky. There's literally... He really just brought colonialism into No Man's Sky. So let me tell you a little something about No Man's Sky. Whenever you go around to these little planets, there's these things called sentries. And depending on the threat level of the sentries on the planet, that's how much they're going to give a fuck if you are mining resources on that planet. If you mine, say, a carbon vein in front of one of these sentries, they give at least 2 fucks about what you're doing, and then they will try to crush your shit, and then they'll just come in waves and waves and waves, and eventually getting to where like a giant fucking mech drops down and tries to crush you, all because you're strip mining carbon. So there are consequences for this dude's quote colonialism in No Man's Sky. Also, spoiler for No Man's Sky, in the lore, in the storyline of No Man's... Yeah, there's No Man's Sky lore, by the way. It's all a simulation. The entire world, the entire world is a simulation in No Man's Sky.
Yeah, it's like the Sixth Sense.
Yeah, it like your character figures out that they're just living in a simulation,
Quite a bro
Yeah,
moment.
cool.
and yeah, so nothing really matters. Especially, well, it's a double factor of doesn't matter because one, it's a fucking video game, and two, it's a simulation in a video game story.
And 3, it's No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky is good. Fuck you.
Well, it's good now.
Yeah, it's good. I don't care how bad it was. It's good now.
Anyway,
Okay, moving on.
Yeah, violence bad. Okay.
No, but seriously, let's move on.
yeah.
You can move
Storage
on.
chests, leaving a trail of shitty Swiss cheese-looking environments in your wake.
You don't.
These
You literally
behaviors
don't.
are incentivized by the axiology of the developers, or what they
fucking
believe has value or worth inside this fictional world that they've created.
Just make it up
But
words.
just like how the developers set the value of things inside of the game, their own values have been instilled in them largely by the dominant ideology of the society that they exist within.
Oh, okay, that is.
Wait,
that is just-
or that's just how they designed the game.
Message coming in.
Okay.
Sorry, his voice. I cannot follow his voice at all.
Yeah, with people as dumb as this, it can't be as simple as that's how the game was made. No, there has to be some entire ideology behind it.
Are we now?
Deep shit and not just what do you think would make a fun game? Like no. It's this really like it's society. We live in a society.
I love how we're also now
We live in
onto.
a society.
I love how we're also now onto the read a book
This whole fucking video
part
is we live
of
in a
the
society.
game.
Well, no, he went from this very general statement of you come from a society where you have certain values and beliefs, and that is what you're instilling into your game design. It's like, no, that's not how I design Tetris. That's not how I make Mario. That's not how I make other games.
And societies aren't like fucking
Let
homogenous.
me tell you something.
in
You
terms of
designed
views.
the game. You designed the fucking game the way your boss tells you to design it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they aren't homogenous in terms of what views they have.
Like a designer doesn't go.
The
it's like-
shit is this logic?
Yeah, the
And
designer
there's
doesn't
so many
go.
like
I'm a
games that have completely conflicting like messages, like that would conflict with each other, right? That it's like if you looked at one game and compared it to another game, you'd be like, okay, what they say about society is completely different from each other. So
Well-
are they
Yeah.
both showing the dominant like ideology?
It's like asking a
That seems to
writer.
not make any sense.
And you saying, well, this writer is religious, therefore he can't write a story about a bunch of pagans running around trying to conquer some other pagan group. It's like that wouldn't work. It's like a writer would be like, yeah,
Well, no,
I
no,
could
it
do
goes
that.
even further than that.
No, if you want to,
Even
if you want a
they're
good example.
not religious, if the society's religious, it doesn't even matter that they're not religious.
No, Smut. If you want an example of what you were just talking about, Superman was created by 2 Jewish guys. I mean, hello.
Yeah, exactly.
Black,
That's why he's
Black
an
Panther.
immigrant.
Black Panther was created by a white guy, so
I mean, almost all of Marvel was created by white guys, so. But that's neither here nor there.
Well, you know.
But the point is that it isn't indicative of anything, any belief they had, or anything, or their place in society. They just created superheroes because they wanted to put
I mean,
those ideas
That's
to
dumb. Your Wonder Woman
reality.
was created because the creators were fucking horny, dude. Let's be real here.
but
Nah, no.
but you
No.
can't. Yeah.
They had to go to horny jail.
Yes.
Well done, Zach. I think we can carry on going
Yeah.
with the video.
There's also an added layer of complexity when you consider that through years and years of game design, we've informally codified what games are supposed to look and feel like, as well as how we interact
good.
with virtual spaces.
Cool.
What? Wait, that. Did anybody understand what he just said?
It's
Nope.
a load of fucking jargon. It's a load of fucking.
He went to understand what games are meant to look and feel like. I'm like, yeah, good, okay.
I legitimately
good
tried to
and
understand it.
enjoyable.
I could
Yeah.
not follow.
Do you want to rewind
You
that?
see, the institutional.
I do wanna
the systemic
No, I don't want to
Yeah.
rewind because
Systemically
it's just going to be.
institutionalize
Yeah.
the systems of institutional systemicism.
Also, his voice
It's
is
so
very hard to follow. I
Dollface,
don't know
will-
why. I'm having a real difficult time.
I
Like
agree with Hawk. I
following
agree with
him.
Hawk. It's.
his voice is like almost mumbling through a lot of word salad, and I'm like, wait, what? Put a bit of effort into it.
Yes.
Good, good
Open your fucking mouth when you speak into a microphone. By the way,
Yeah.
I don't know how many content creators need to hear this, or how many speakers or Twitch streamers or whatever. Open your mouth. Enunciate your words. Speak clearly and openly. Use your radio voice.
Don't just mumble or something like that.
I don't know what this guy's talking about in this video. Fuck you.
All right, let's go.
We can keep going. Yeah.
Like the old saying goes, when you are a hammer, everything looks like a nail.
Not a hammer.
Does that mean that when you're playing a shooter, everything looks like a target?
No.
No.
If you
No, the buildings don't look like targets. I mean, granted, when I played the new Modern Warfare, I did throw a grenade into that baby crib.
Why? If you're playing a shooter, does everything look like a target? Probably, bitch. I'm trying not to get shot.
Hey,
This is-
chat,
this
back
is the
me up
fucking
on this.
kid.
If you played 2018 Modern Warfare, did you throw in that one mission? Did you throw a nade into the crib with the baby?
This
Back me up on this
kid.
chat.
This is the fucking kid who fucking cries to the parents of their neighbor when they find out that their the neighbor's kid is playing Grand Theft Auto, and they go to the parents and they're like, "Oh, he's playing this game and it's violent and he just kills innocent people, and it's like it's so how do you let him play this? This is the worst thing. I can't believe you're a horrible parent."
Mind you,
Well,
just killing innocent people for no reason isn't the main objective of the game unless you're specifically told that it is.
It also causes you to lose the game or get arrested.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There are consequences for doing it. That's what everyone leaves out.
That's the fun of it, though.
There are consequences. You do not get off scot-free going on a murder rampage in GTA 5.
That's
Nope.
why I enjoy
Eventually,
it.
the military comes after you and they bomb your ass into the next week.
But
Exactly.
That's what I
fun,
enjoy about GTA. That's what I enjoy about GTA. It's like, if I go on a murder spree in there, there's consequences. I get caught. I go on a murder spree here. I just keep getting away with it. It's just boring.
There are consequences. You lose all your money and all your weapons when you get arrested or wasted.
You lose. Yeah. Something I can't remember. I've not played GTA in ages.
And it's how many one game that actually lets you bribe the cops to get them back, and every other time you gotta work your ass off to get it back.
Yeah.
I just looked at the chat and I saw you, Lita. Fuck. I saw you, Lita. No exploding to babies.
It's just-
the children.
Oh, here's
no.
Joe Crazy.
Think of the
Minecraft.
brown gay children.
Minecraft gets my Spanish colonizer blood pumping. Oh my.
I was just about to read that one. Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah. It's like oof.
Cortez would be
Everyone
proud, my
forget-
friend.
Everyone forgets the Spanish and Empire.
Conquista
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Everyone forgets that Portugal had an empire. Everyone forgets that everybody had an empire at some point.
Speak for yourself. You guys still have an empire.
Mate, we don't have an empire.
The Queen?
We don't have an empire, no. We just have very loyal subjects who know their place. Isn't that right, Smud?
Yes. It's true. We are appointed by the Queen. It's how it works.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, and Americans, they think they're free for now.
Wrong.
Hey, Meghan Markle's going for the presidency in the future. Do you hear about that?
We shall see.
Oh shit.
A British royal is going to try and get to be ruler of your country.
We shall see. Okay, anyway, once again, moving on.
She's an American married to a Brit. Oh, fuck. It's a perfect setup.
Yep.
They
the long
played us
game.
like a damn fiddle.
Once
Load
again,
up a game.
moving
Thing that
on.
happens is a virtual weapon appears in your hands. That becomes your primary way of interacting with the world. And if a creature appears and their name tag is red, They're obviously an enemy, and we should use that weapon on them.
So,
Yeah.
There are very few games
also, the
that
fact that they're attacking you,
Yeah, so
that they're trying to kill you, and that if you don't, you
if you are
die.
spotted, if you are under fire, if you're doing a certain mission in a
Message
shooter,
coming in.
you do need to kill the
Answer
enemies.
through.
There aren't typically very many pacifist options. And if you don't like the fact that there are no pacifist options in the game that you're playing, don't fucking play it, and then don't bitch about it.
It's other people still play it, and it promotes blah blah blah.
It's called-
promotes things.
It's called
Promotes
shut the fuck up
things.
and mind your business.
Yeah, shut the fuck up,
Yeah.
nerd.
Why do all these people want to sit down and have tea with like the demons from Doom? It's like
Just
shoot the
just
fucking thing. They're not
just
real.
shut
They're
the fuck up.
pixels.
just shut the fuck up and mind your business. If the game doesn't appeal to you, don't play it.
Yeah.
All you're doing with these videos,
Not everything is
pissing
made
people
for
off.
you.
all you're doing
Yeah.
with these videos is pissing people off. You know what actually works? Voting with your dollar. If you don't like it, don't pay for it.
Yeah.
Simple as that. That's the most influence that you have.
Yeah.
This
Also
video just
terrorism,
pisses
I
people
mean.
off and makes me want to throw more nades into the baby crib.
It's just-
I'm with Zach. I'd even give money for Zach to throw more grenades into the baby crib.
Here's Vladimir Dragunov. This guy talks like he has Flick saved before murdering everyone in a Bethesda game.
Ooh. Quick saved.
Yeah.
That'd
Well,
be
I mean,
Yeah.
in Skyrim, who didn't turn it, like, F5, turn into a werewolf, eliminate
Yes.
the entire city.
Fucking white run
Yes.
any percent.
White
Yes.
run, any percent speed run.
white run kill everyone any percent.
That
The
I did.
Riften, how many more orphans can I make? Any percent speed run.
I went with going. I became a werewolf just
Yeah.
to do that once, just because of the meme. And
With
it's like,
the cow
holy shit.
killer mod on.
Unironically, because like the werewolf was fucking useless in battle. It was worthless because
Yeah.
the entire transformation took like 5 minutes. It
Uh,
didn't, but it took
any-
so long, and then
All
would just
silver
be-
hurts
oh.
you, and everyone's like, "Ah, we got silver in our swords."
shit, damn it.
Yeah.
The vampire option, that was the way to go.
Yeah.
Not me.
Fuck you.
Well,
Well,
Yeah, I
fuck
didn't go for
you,
either of them. I stayed all organic, baby.
Vampires are organic, they're just a little crispy.
Wow. Okay, racist.
No, I stayed clean.
Just because they have long teeth.
Wow, so vampires
Oh.
are dirty?
Yeah, oh, vampires are dirty. Oh, they're not organic. They're not real organisms. Oh, wow! I can't believe you.
Dude.
you organist. You organist.
Wait, what was that? What was that?
Colonialism of Transylvania.
God damn it. Alright, moving on. For real.
Yeah.
Avert these expectations. The only one you've probably ever heard of is Undertale. But that's still not
What?
exactly a mainstream title.
Word? Really?
Wait, what?
Undertale
While
isn't a
violence,
mainstream title.
wealth hoarding, and racism aren't
It's pretty
exclusive.
mainstream to me.
Wait, what?
It's an
Wait,
indie
isn't
title.
mainstream?
No,
I mean,
it's an
it's
indie
still pretty
title.
mainstream indie, but it's still pretty mainstream.
Wait, I don't care
Yeah,
about that. I don't care about
most
that.
of
I'm
them
gonna take it back just a little bit. I need to hear
Yeah,
what
because
you
I want to listen. That list he was making just then
Alright.
was kind of.
I don't care about Undertale being a mainstream or indie game. Shut the fuck up about that. Alright.
Your primary interacting with the world. And if a creature appears and their name tag is red, they're obviously an enemy and we should use that weapon on them.
Yeah.
There are very few games that subvert these expectations. The only one you've probably ever heard of is Undertale.
So you were just talking about shooters, put a gun in somebody's hand, everything looks like a target.
Uh-huh.
And then
Uh-huh.
you switch to Undertale subverting expectations.
Yeah, Undertale's not a shooter.
Just tells me
Also,
where your head's
the,
Message coming in.
It just
Yeah,
tells me
also
where your
the
head's
name-
Push it through.
I don't know if I noticed, the name of that demon was Horny Lad 666.
Well,
What?
then he definitely.
What
has to
did
be
you just say?
The name of that demon he just shot, I'm pretty sure was Horny Lad 666 or something, or Horny Lad 66 or something.
Oh,
Stop.
All right then.
He
All right,
died and went to
here
bloody
is-
hell.
Here's Barry Bluebird. Undertale is overrated as hell. It's a very niche audience, Undertale, as far as RPGs or old school RPGs go. So it's a retro style looking weird take on, what would you call those style of games where they have mini games randomly throughout the story? I don't know what you call that, but it's
It's still
video
turn-based,
games.
but it's
it's just video games, just games with
still
games. Okay.
turn-based, but it's just like the dodging.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like that
But,
like having mini games throughout the story of a game isn't exclusive to any
It's
genre
just-
in particular.
Yeah, it's just the combat. So
Yeah.
it's what do you call it? Bullet hell segments.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's just turn-based with bullet hell segments.
Right.
But that's still not exactly a mainstream. While violence, wealth hoarding, and racism aren't exclusive to colonialism, they were essential to the process and help uphold colonial
were.
power structures to this day.
No, they weren't.
No, they weren't.
Carry on.
All right, Britt,
Anyway.
you want to handle this one?
Okay. Well, gaming in general, I mean, we're talking about acquiring stuff. You need stuff to do stuff. So you can talk about the law of conservation of mass. You can talk about skills. You need to upgrade your skills or your level to pass a certain area because the enemies are too hard. There's all basic things you need to acquire in a certain quantity to get past a certain area. So that's nothing to do with colonialism or this or that. That's just gameplay. That's just how
Game
the
design
system-
it's basic game design.
You need stuff to do more stuff. You need bigger things to do bigger stuff. Yeah, it's this basic concept. So there's nothing inherently special with colonialism per se, and nothing says colonialism means you have to steal resources or make a manufacturing plant or grow crops or whatever. Nothing says you have to do that. Colonizing is just putting a colony down, and they can do whatever they like.
Yeah. A hell of a lot of the British Empire was just
Colonial
we
power
went
structures.
somewhere. Yeah, carry on.
What is this vague? It's like it seems this sort of vague, unfalsifiable claim of it's colonialist power structures that exist to this day, and it's like, is this just some really vague bullshit about well, you see, the reason that Africa is poor today, it's actually the legacy of colonialism and blah blah blah. No. If that's the claim, then
No,
no.
the legacy
You're wrong.
the legacy of colonialism in Africa is running water and actual cities.
Oof.
The response
I don't know
is,
enough about the colonialization of Africa to comment.
The response is, "You're fucking welcome."
It's
Oh my God.
no, really. I mean, yeah.
No,
offense,
I think
it
that
is that.
colonialism hurt Africa. I just would not be able to explain how. So
Well, yeah,
shut up.
it hurt, but there's also there's still positives that came out of it.
Remember that?
If you say so.
But it's a moral grey area.
Remember
That's the problem.
that skit by was it in Life of Brian where they're arguing about the Romans? What have the Romans ever done for us?
Romans ever do. Yeah,
And they keep
apart from
listing
like
things like the aqueduct and peace, and
and the aqueduct.
wine, roads. Of
Yeah.
course, the roads. Like they don't just conquer and destroy and eliminate. They conquer and go, okay,
Yeah,
we're gonna set you guys up so you live a better life under us, and here's why. So
Yeah.
if
So
they
you can make
didn't-
money for us.
well, that's part of it. But if they didn't, they would
But it doesn't
rebel.
really matter if that's the motive, if it still improves their
Yeah,
quality of life.
like
for
I'm saying,
once. I really don't give a
the
fuck.
purpose is you want this place to make money and prosper and
well,
be a
the-
good
the interesting thing about that is in regards to the French Empire. After a certain while, the French Empire only existed as a way to barter with peace treaties. So, say if there's a war in continental Europe, what France would do if it happened to lose, it would offer a colony so that the invading nation would leave the French border. So that's how it used to
What?
work. So a lot of European nations used to have colonies to trade with other nations if they lost a continental war. So they wouldn't actually lose
Message
part
coming
of
in.
their country; they'd lose
Patching it
a
through.
bit of a colony somewhere. So yeah.
All right.
Here
So after a
is-
while, it just became like a bit of a, I don't know, like a spare bit of cash to give to like some bailiffs at your door or something.
Mhm.
here is
I
Don't
guess that's a
invade.
smarter way of...
Don't take Paris. Here's Trinidad and Tobago. You can have that instead. I'm like, oh yeah, okay.
here is
Yeah,
Barry
that's
Bluebird
actually kind
again.
of smart.
Fallout New Vegas is the best depiction of colonialism in a video game ever.
I would need to replay it.
I'm currently playing it right now. Colonialism does not come to my mind when I play New Vegas. What comes to mind?
no,
Lots
not
of
really.
What
rubble.
about the NCR?
There's literally games solely about colonialism.
Hold
Yeah.
on. I have a question for Smud. I have a question. The NCR, would you describe them as colonialists?
They are kind of like an ancient power that are trying to establish some sort of foothold.
I think Caesar's Legion is more.
Yeah, but it's that's opposing force, but they're using like Roman tactics and crucifying people in a very brutal way. So the NCR is kind of like an old world style of militarism, and it's all
The Brotherhood of Steel would be classed as the Eastern, not the Eastern, the
Brotherhood,
Western
not
faction.
the
The Western, because they set up a outpost in Boston from is it Washington? Yeah, that's almost like setting up a colony.
well.
So that would be.
They don't want to
I mean,
colonize
was that
them.
was that
In
New
the
Vegas or was that another
in the
game?
context of New Vegas.
Oh, that's another game.
In-
New Vegas. I was just talking about Fallout in general.
Yeah, the Brotherhood is
in general.
essentially just wants to preserve tech and kill anyone else who has it.
Mhm.
So they're very specific.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But the
yeah.
Roman
The Brotherhood
legions,
specifically wants to be ahead of the curve in regards to like the tech. Yes.
yeah, the
Yeah.
Legionnaires or Kaiser's Legion, they just want to dominate
Message coming in.
and wipe everyone
Patch
else
it
out
through.
who's not.
More,
there.
more so the Legion than the NCR, but yes, both of them to a certain
Yeah,
extent.
the NCR is
Oh, wait,
trying to
true to
be
Kaiser.
a police force by being a military force. And it's kind of like they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
There's all this jurisdiction. They don't know who can do what and what when they should move and when they shouldn't move. It's a very bureaucratic nightmare sort of scenario, which makes sense because
Yeah.
they have no rules. And then you have like what's left of the Enclave, which is sort of late in the game. You'll discover the Enclave in
Yes.
in New Vegas, which is I would say that is like a remnant of the old world
America.
of America.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, but they're not
This
trying to
is your
colonize
president,
either.
John Henry Eden.
Yeah, they're just minding their own business.
They're trying to survive. Yeah. All right, Ivan the Mad Vandal Hawk. You forgot you're ending the slave trade. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Very big.
Yeah. We did. Yeah.
And let us never speak of it again.
It was fun. It was fun, and then the Arabs brought it all back in again. So woohoo! Yay!
Smud, I have a question about New Vegas.
Sure.
In New Vegas, isn't everywhere Caesar's Legion go, once they pretty much take the place over, everything's like going swimmingly?
No. Nipton gets completely decimated. So no, they just wipe people out.
I thought in their established, like in the places that they actually take over, it's basically like another Roman Empire being set up.
If they don't follow the rules, they'll kill everyone. So an entire town gets wiped out because they felt like it, and they crucified people.
Yeah.
Like, they had lotteries to kill. Like it was disgusting.
yeah.
Yeah, they were horrible. So
Yeah, and the game shoves it in your face with it, just to let you know.
Jeez. When did you enter an empty room or something? You echoed a lot then.
Oh no, sorry.
He's in his bathroom.
So the idea behind New Vegas is to take control of Hoover Dam, and I guess after that, then they'll start laying down roots. But the whole game is just fighting everyone off to figure that out. So you could argue the ending and epilogue is that.
But with the Legion, isn't it like the minute that Khazar dies, it just falls into absolute chaos because that was all that was keeping it together.
Basically, yes.
It depends on what your perspective of what the hierarchy is, because you still have to fight off that crazy general dude at the end.
Legate Larius, is it?
Whatever his name is. He's the guy. He's Teal'c from Stargate, the voice actor. So it's it's like okay. He's still a badass crazy.
The fight itself is a pain. The fight itself is a pain in the ass, by the way.
Right.
If you're not prepared.
If you don't have any anti-material rounds.
I think I'm going to take orders from some courier walk the wasteland fuck.
If you played all the DLC, then you'll decimate him with rockets, so it doesn't really make a difference.
Yes.
Yeah, you get the boomers.
Mm-hmm.
We get the red rocket
Unless
from Lonesome Road, so just...
Unless you're like me, who left the DLC for later, in which case I was boned.
Yeah. But Old World Blues is still my favorite. I'm playing it right now because it's my favorite DLC. I play it every year. It is so much fun. Made by Chris Savalone and Obsidian fame, so fantastic.
Is New Vegas... Is Fallout 4 New Vegas made yet? Is it done?
Haven't tried it.
Oh, no.
I haven't tried it.
Everyone, all of your names just lit up green and I couldn't hear anything.
I have yet to try it. It's a mod, I know. Yeah.
But is it out yet?
You can download the mod. It's not finished. Most mods aren't finished, but you can download it, sure.
Hey Smud, can you look into setting yourself on a priority speaker in this call? Because for some reason, whenever anybody else talks, your voice is deafened, and there's a set to priority.
I'm not sure how to do that.
I'm sorry, you're cutting out.
I'm honestly not sure how to do that, so I couldn't tell you.
You should be able to right-click on your icon or your name,
All right.
and there should be an option to set priority speaker.
I don't see it. Nope, don't see it. Sorry.
All right then.
Anyway, the video.
Yes.
Because we're on about New Vegas now. The video, Decolonizing Games.
Yeah, let's get back to that.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about something good.
Just wait until New Vegas actually does come up in the video. I'm calling it now.
Okay.
Ginga, what are you doing in the background?
Yeah, what?
Coming in.
Yeah,
No,
what
I'm
are you doing?
I'm patching it through.
Are you
No, I'm just
packing
kidding.
for a move to Alaska?
No, I'm in my kitchen getting something to drink. Damn it!
Yeah, we can tell.
I didn't know you had to climb Mount Everest, dig through a scrapyard, and conquer an invading army to be able just to get a drink.
I mean, I'll mute myself if you guys want. It's like that's no problem for me.
I'm just giving you shit,
Yeah.
but yes, please.
All
Yes,
right.
please.
All right, I'll only unmute when I gotta talk. All right.
Okay. Here is Joe Crazy. New Vegas did mention trading routes are safer in Legion territory. They are able to handle raiders better than the NCR, and that's true because they're more efficient. So they have better equipment. They got better men. They're trained better for sure. I agree. But they're
Also,
freaking
the
scary.
repercussions as well for raiders.
Oh,
That's
You
the-
need to Smud. You need to go into the what do you call it in the voice channel. There should be there's like a thing for like settings. The wee gear for settings.
also, chat's
And then
saying
you
that
go into
Ginga is
there.
way too loud, so you might have to adjust his volume a little bit.
Am I good now?
I could
Find,
decrease them. It's all right.
Fucking what do you call it?
There you
Priority
go.
speaker.
Hmm.
In advanced permissions
Advanced permissions in the chat.
in the voice.
Yes.
The voice channel.
Yeah, and
Also-
in the group chat, you should be able to go to the settings and.
Also,
you'll
damn
find-
it, ego. It's like Ginga is my spirit animal. Oh, shut the fuck up.
See it.
What a great 200th episode. Talking about how to sort out the voice chat.
Listen, it's perfect.
All right. Anyway,
200 episodes. We're teaching Smud how to use Discord.
yeah.
200 episodes later, exactly.
All right. So we're
Sorry, this is how you search on Google, and
anyway.
So if
anyway,
you click "I'm feeling lucky," it'll just give you the first result.
anyway.
This is how you hit the like button on a tweet.
Anyway, let's get going.
All right.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that we can't just chill out and fuck around in video games that celebrate these narratives, but it does mean that if we are actively seeking to
Whoa. Okay.
Dragon
so-
Age Inquisition,
No,
right?
no, I don't care. I don't care about Dragon Age Inquisition. He said this. It doesn't mean that we can't sit down and fuck around and enjoy the video games for what they are.
Oh, yeah.
But if we're gonna focus on decolonizing our video games, wow, that is
This is such a fucking nonsense.
That is
statement.
something
it's like
else.
a meaningless statement.
So everything I just said is meaningless because you could have fun. It's like, okay, thank you.
Okay, well then end the video right fucking here.
oh my god.
I love
That
that
was
this
sounds
happens.
Like we're all supposed to just be like, oh yeah, of course.
This kind of
Oh,
happens.
right. Yeah, decolonizing games.
Oh yeah.
You
Well, when you
need
put it
to
that
make
way,
the case.
This
Fucker needs to make the case that games are colonized and then present a solution to decolonize them.
So this happens.
If you're going to make this video, you have to prove that there is a problem and then offer a solution.
So this happens once every, I'd say every 3 or 4 videos. Where they say, this is just my opinion. Of course, you can just do this or that. The Cavernacle did it last time, where it's like, yeah, don't worry, this is just my opinion. This doesn't really matter. You can still have fun playing Warhammer or whatever.
What
Like,
would you like to see? Put in the comments. It's like, all right.
it's such a silly cop-out. Like, all the stuff I said, yeah, that's just bullshit. Don't worry about it. It's like, wait, what? What do you mean?
It's a shield to protect themselves from criticism. Mahler said this in the early EFAPs, that all this is just a shield to protect themselves from criticism. Oh, I said it was just a joke. Oh, why are you bullying me?
That's like your opinion, man.
Listen, man. If you're gonna post some dumb shit, expect to be criticized for it.
Well,
I don't care. The shield of it's just my opinion or it's all subjective doesn't work. It doesn't fucking work. Because if you're gonna put something out there, if you're gonna make content and you're gonna espouse your opinions to your audience, you are deserving of criticism.
So anyone who concludes their or begins their argument with this is just my opinion or don't take this too seriously or yada yada, it's like what exactly are you going for in this video then? You just want to share information? You want to tell a story that doesn't have any meaning?
Yeah. No,
You know what
they
else you do with your
want
opinion?
they want
it to
to
yourself.
share their opinions and to have people know about their way of thinking and see how enlightened they are, and they don't want any pushback on it. They don't want anything. If you push back on them, they get scared. No, I just wanted confirmation that my opinions are correct. But now that you're telling me I'm wrong, I can't handle it.
So Dragon Age Inquisition, let's see.
minds instead of just tweeting about it. We need to examine these things in our relationships with them.
Okay.
We
Yeah,
need
no
to
point.
examine
Yeah,
these
we just
things.
clip some video.
need to
This is
examine
the
these
fucking
things.
Anita Sarkeesian fucking everything is sexist, everything is racist, everything is homophobic, and we need to call it all out. That's what this is.
Spend
Well,
your
in
life
fact,
constantly being
everything is
angry.
awesome.
Pass it through.
Everything is bigoted. Everything is racist if you're white.
Everything is racist.
I'm just now thinking about this. So this is just off the top of my head, but it's funny that the left and people like this will constantly claim that shit's racist or this all games are sexist or so on and so forth, whereas the rest of us are just like, please stop touching my shit. Just don't touch Star Wars, because you put your grubby little fingers on it and it fucks it up. Don't touch Dragon Age, because you put your grubby little fingers on it and break it even more. Whereas, yeah, the conservative side mostly wants to keep things the way they are and not really change too much. The left thinks everything needs to be changed.
Yeah.
It's just interesting.
But not small changes either.
Not small.
We're talking
They're not small at all.
huge change. Yeah.
We need Iron Man to be a black trans woman. Like,
With a huge penis.
A black
With
black
a huge-
pregnant
we're
trans
gonna
man
also color
with
the
one
Iron Man
leg
suit to the
who's also an ex-convict.
transsexual flag. Like, maybe don't.
Well, they gotta
Maybe make your own
decolonize
character
Iron
or
Man.
something instead of touching my thing.
They did make a
this
separate
guy is-
character for that, and it still sucked.
This guy is saying we need to address these issues. You haven't proven that there are issues.
Has
You
he
said they are.
problematic yet?
You've said, no, he hasn't. You've said that there are, colonization issues in video games, but you haven't shown it. You haven't proved it. You need to show an example. So, if I'm going to make a claim, this is high school essay, like, by the numbers bullshit of just, you have your thesis statement. This is why my thesis statement is true. Sorry?
Why are you bringing in Spanish people, Zach?
What about Spanish?
What?
Don't fuck you.
Essay.
So
hey. Sorry.
Oh, fuck you. Okay.
So when you're writing an essay, you're going to make your thesis statement. You're going to say that this is true because of this, this, and this. And then you can maybe offer a solution or talk about it a little bit more in your conclusion. Simple bullshit. For some reason, we just skip all of that and have a 33-minute essay of just concluding arguments. So anyway, as I proved here, as I proved there, and as you know this, and as you know that. No, I don't. You haven't proved anything. You haven't shown me a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
hate this.
let's just keep going. I know he's jumping around here, but let's.
That's Iron Mom. Thank you.
Oh, no.
Iron Man.
Iron Man.
No, why did I'm never looking at the chat again. I'm never looking at the chat again.
Actually, you're all wrong. It's Ironheart.
I looked at the chat. First thing I see, Fudanari Iron Man. I'm never going back to chat.
That's
No.
Really,
kind of what Ironheart is, except the penis.
Of all the shit you've looked up, where you're like, oh, that exists, and you've looked it up, and be like, oh, I gotta look that up now to see if it exists. That's your line. That's where you draw the line.
I look back and that's the first thing I see, and I'm like, I wasn't in the mindset
Don't
of
lie,
like
I know
Fudanari
you-
Iron Man, and just
I know you're looking
never
that
mind.
up right now. Don't lie.
Well, actually,
No,
my
I'm-
hand's
I know-
tangled up. My hand is tangled
No,
up
I'm
in
doing-
my headphone cord, and I'm actually been spending the past 2 minutes trying to untangle it.
And how hard is that exactly?
Well, it's free now, but I spent.
I thought Zach was going to say, well, I've now got 2 hands tangled up now. Please some help.
Yeah.
Here is Joe Crazy. Come on, guys. Donkey is just making jokes. Okay, if you guys don't know, we've criticized Donkey before,
Fuck that guy.
and we get all kinds of ridiculous commenters in those videos saying Donkey is just like we get both
I thought
sides.
he was black for the longest time
I have no idea what color he is.
until I saw what he looked like. I
What
was like, oh,
color he is?
Well, you get these people. It's guy, he's just making a joke. Why are you being so serious? Then you get the actual people trying to defend his opinion. So it's like, okay, do we see him as a joker?
I mean, he's joking.
Is he joking, or do you believe what he's saying? That's why the issue
he's
of
joking,
just
but
my
the
opinion
joke-
doesn't stand.
He's joking, but the joking isn't that he doesn't actually have that opinion. Like, he does have that opinion, but he's also joking about things. But the joke isn't the opinion itself. The opinion itself isn't a joke. It's sincere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why the opinion shield, the subjectivity shield, doesn't hold. Because the second you say, "Oh, it's just a joke," it's just a joke. Okay, so what is a joke in your video? What am I supposed to take seriously? What am I not supposed to take seriously? Is this entire video satire? Where is the line here?
Yeah, if you do explain the joke, there is no joke. That's the problem. Donkey's got to explain all the way through his videos and say, yeah, this is a joke. And you're like, well, it sounds exactly like your serious parts.
Now, you can have, like, something I'm going to be doing in my videos. I'll be having silly sections. Not silly sections, as gay as that sounds,
Silly
I know.
songs with Larry.
Yeah, there you go. as gay as that sound, but I'll just have like these non-serious sections where there's a definite break in tone in the video, or I'll put up a fucking splash card that just says subjectivity hour, and then I talk about bullshit and say how good The Last Jedi is, and then I come back to reality and like just make it clear. It's called putting effort. I haven't even made one of these videos yet, but I have notes of like everything that I have learned and like what I want to do, and I'm trying to figure out what works and what doesn't.
I'm still thinking about whether I'm going to make that Freddy got fingered as genius video.
I support that.
Listen,
video.
in 5 years, my Shadow of War review is going to shake the foundations of the earth.
All right.
I can't wait for it to get 70 views.
Process. Not only can we learn more about the way we interact with the world around us, but also how we interact with the many worlds within us, too.
Oh, fuck
Wait,
off.
what? Wait, what? Worlds within... Okay, I'm not
Now,
pausing.
for those who don't know, and maybe for some of you that kind of do, there's a lot of confusion around the term decolonization.
Okay.
So I'm going to break it down and describe 3 distinct concepts that sometimes overlap, but most people
we
use
turn the fucking
incorrectly
speed
as
up on this?
interchangeable.
It's
No,
like, it's
because
so
I'm already
slow,
having...
hard to
no,
understand.
I'm already having trouble keeping up.
I think it would be easier to understand if it was faster. Like, his voice sounds like it's slowed down.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just listening to him, and he's honestly boring me to death with his voice. He's not
His voice
gripping
reminds
me.
me of someone.
His editing style doesn't match the content,
Yeah,
and nor does his I guess the editing style match the pace of the video.
It reminds me of what's it called? You know the anime reviewer.
That one anime reviewer.
You know the one he does like the click.
thanks,
thing.
Dollface.
He does this thing where he does like a click and he like clicks his fingers and then it's like an edit.
That one
Yeah, I know.
anime reviewer that clicks.
Yeah.
He's like one of the biggest ones.
Right.
Like one of
That
the, like,
one
most
big
well-known.
anime reviewer that clicks.
I
Like,
know. I know what you're talking about.
Arcada
Yes.
or something.
I do know who he is. Yes.
Do you know who I'm talking
No.
about?
Yeah, I do.
No.
Spud, you know
No,
what I'm talking
Yeah, I don't know his-
Smud does. Yeah.
Yes, I have seen him before.
What is he called?
It doesn't
Why
matter.
can't I
Let's-
Oh my fucking god, Dollface, please.
Glass reflection. That's what it is.
Oh my god.
Dollface, Spud was answering, and you kept cutting him off.
I couldn't hear it.
Thank you, Zach. Was that the whole conversation? You just want to know his name?
I just
Yeah,
think
that's
the
it.
editing-
That's
the
all of
editing-
it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
The editing
god.
style reminds me of Glass Reflection. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Dollface,
Thanks,
have I
Dollface.
ever told you you're a great addition to everything? You have good words that you say sometimes.
Occasionally, there's a word. You're like, oh. Yeah, that
Your,
one.
your
Dollface,
Irish
I
accent
just-
isn't as annoying as a nail on a chalkboard.
Mm-hmm. Dollface is proof that the potato famine wasn't a mistake.
But at
Let
the
me tell
same
you something. It
time,
was really difficult
you do it
eating all those
again.
potatoes and making sure there were none left for the rest of the Irish.
Yep. But we did our best.
You know, you could have just burned the potatoes, right? What?
All right, let's go.
What?
Oh my god.
Wow.
And, oh god.
The first one
okay.
is decolonization itself, which refers to the process of tipping the scales back towards the people of colonized nations.
What are you talking about? What does that even mean? Are you-
He's talking about the three types of decolonization. The first one is decolonizationist, which is tipping the scales back to the
I guess
people
giving
of
the country
colonized.
back.
Yeah, but that won't happen.
Yeah, so
Alright.
that's what happened. That's what happened everywhere.
Whether that is by restoring stolen land to its rightful owners, or adding further context to colonial narratives. Decolonization isn't about completely removing characters like Cook and Columbus from history, and it's not about throwing all our modern conveniences into a bonfire and worshipping ancient gods. I mean, well...
What? Yes, we know that. Yeah, it's called not being insane.
There's so much shit that he's just pulling out of his ass.
I'm just a little lost on, let's say Canada gives the land back to the Native Americans. First off, there's barely any left. Secondly, they already have reservations. Thirdly, how is that going to work? Like, what, do they instill their own government and they're Canada now?
It's all casinos.
Also, it's all casinos and alcoholics, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but also, where do the European descendant Canadians go? Do they have to leave? Does everyone have to go back to their own country?
No, he's saying that's not what he wants. It's just he said adding context to colonial narratives.
I understand, but this is what happens. He only goes so far. There's other points.
Where's the line?
Yeah.
Like, where do we stop is this enough decolonization? No, it's not enough. Well, okay, we did this too. Well, is this enough? No, it's not enough. So where is the line?
Until Smud and his family are packed off back to Italy, decolonization is never complete. And even with Italy, he has to go back to other countries because he might not be fully Italian.
Your heritage-based immigration is now expired. Please go back to whence you came. It's like, what?
Yeah. It keeps going back, and we're all there awkwardly crammed into one valley in Africa, since that's where all of us came from, and everyone's like, "Isn't this great? We're all equal," and we're just squashed together. And I was like, "Yeah, great, wonderful."
Shut the fuck up, Jerry.
I'm not Jerry. Oh God, where's Jerry?
Oh God. Oh my God. Yeah, this guy's just pulling a lot of stuff out of his ass, and it's very confusing. None of it's set up. None of it has even been established to be a problem yet, and yet
also changing the narrative of colonization. This always goes down to this is not who was there first. It's no one around today was there first. The people who were there first are long gone. Their names don't even matter anymore because the people who came second wiped him out.
Colonized? Well, too bad. I'd fucking do it again. I'd fucking do it again, you bitch.
You know how awesome the world is?
I'd do it again.
I have a $5,000 computer sitting next to my leg that can run damn near any game that I want. It's pretty fucking dope. I like the future. The future is the tits. I carry a computer around in my pocket that has access to the entire world's collective knowledge.
I look up cats.
And I look up cats. Yeah, I take pictures with my cats on it. Do you guys want to see my cats?
No.
We're good.
Oh, all right then. You sure?
Zach, stop trying to show your pussy to everybody.
Pussy is 2 cats.
Here is Joe Crazy. What about the land that natives took from other natives and the land that those natives took from other natives? Yeah, I mean, this is all infighting between tribes.
Yeah.
When does it end? Who's the originator of who owned what? When did capitalism start and say, this land belongs to me because if you cross this line, I'll kill you? Like, who's the first guy to say that?
Yeah, like I say, they always say, about the Native Americans and all this. I'm like, okay, name the first couple of tribes. Oh, you got the Sioux. No, they weren't the first couple of tribes. Well, the names of the first tribes don't exist because the tribes that came later wiped them out. They just happen to be the strongest ones that lasted till Western colonists. That's it. The original empires and stuff disappear. There's been so many different empires and civilizations that have just turned to dust and we know nothing about. So, like I say, it just keeps going backwards and backwards and backwards
Yeah.
until we're all in a fucking valley in Africa, where our species first walked upright. So, yeah.
All right, let's go.
It's not that, but as it's practiced today, decolonization is about adding more perspectives to the dominant narrative. So instead of just hearing about pilgrims having a big Thanksgiving dinner with their native friends, we also hear about the native side of the story, which in past may have been glossed over or treated with less importance. So,
Wow, that looked like a really great party.
Can I just say something? Number one, if you're going to start talking about famine, don't have someone who's fat.
Like everyone's super serious around the dinner table staring at you. It's like, holy sh! What is wrong? What happened?
Fucking cry.
Well-
about it, dude. I don't
Yeah.
give a single fuck.
Oh yeah, but also here's the thing that always makes not me laugh, but what people don't seem to realise: the simple common cold went across to America, the Americas, and wiped out most of the population.
Yeah.
A virus wiped out most of the population. It wasn't the guns or the swords that slew the natives. It was mainly
Smallpox, too.
illness.
And a lot of it.
Yeah,
this was-
smallpox.
A lot of this was
Wait.
pre-contact, so by the time
Yeah.
they even had significant contact with them,
Mhm.
like actually talking with them, they were like a whole
Mhm.
load of them were already dead.
Yeah.
That doesn't now. To be clear, that doesn't
Doesn't
excuse
excuse. Yeah,
what
but what I'm
happened to
saying
the
is-
Native
But
Americans.
but
What
I
happened to
just-
the Native Americans during the expansionist period of the United States and Canada and so on was
Yeah.
horrific.
Mhm.
The Trail of Tears is fucking horrific.
But I'm not even just talking about the Native Americans in the USA. I'm also talking about the Incas and Aztecs, and down all the way down to even the South Americas, where Mother Nature was at fault for most of their deaths. Now here's the thing with Mother Nature: it doesn't give a shit about what color you are. Mother Nature will kill you no matter what, and it's Mother Nature's way of weeding out the unfit. So, unfortunately, yeah,
I wouldn't say
that's
unfit.
what happened.
It's more or less the unlucky.
It's all with evolution and nature with everything.
Well, evolution
It- it's
isn't
tr- it's
a perfect filter because
Oh no, it isn't.
all
It isn't,
evolution
but
does.
yeah.
The best way I've had it explained to me was all evolution does was whoever survives longest to get laid is the one that passes on the genes. It's not the strongest of the
Yes.
fittest. It's not the survival of the fittest. It's the survival
Yeah.
of
Well,
whoever
that's
stays
just-
alive
well,
long enough to
But
fuck.
here's
Well,
but
that's
here's
the
the thing.
definition
A lot
of-
of yeah,
It is,
but a
yeah,
lot of the native population only survived due to European medicine.
Is that true?
With a lot of it, because
just-
because we
I'm
I'm
we
gonna take your word for it.
had-
I'm gonna take your word for that.
Yes.
For now, because I don't have anything
This
to
is all
say.
besides-
otherwise.
you can look it up. Yeah, it's all beside
Like-
the point. But yeah,
It's almost even if none of that was true, the idea that we should sort of have this sort of absurd, like infinite debt sort of thing, and
Mhm.
constantly be like, oh no, we have to constantly be sort of paying back to it's the idea that it's not really about justice, or it's not really about what is actually the best like thing to do. It's just this sort of narrow-minded view of like
yeah.
collective debt, and that it's just silly.
It's constant misery. It's misery and depression that they always try and push with history.
So the way
There's
I've always
there's
seen
nothing
it-
good.
so the reparation argument and all that stuff, the way I've always seen it or visualized it is this: what America and the rest of the first world countries have done is essentially level the playing field. They did that pretty brutally, and as people became more civilized and had access to better technology and information, we started to equal out. More people got rights, and we're still not perfect. We're still not perfect. We're still always trying to get, more or less level here and there. It's not perfect, but it's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And what the reparation argument always tries to do is elevate those previously oppressed people back up above the rest. It's like, no, we're on a mostly level playing field right now. We did some fucked up shit.
Well, I think
we did some fucked up shit previously, but we're here now, and we need to operate on this playing field.
I think it's a bad faith argument because it's not like there's nothing that's going to make them go, okay, it's been repaid, right? There's no point where they're going to go, okay, that's enough, and we're going to no. They're just always going to do it because it benefits them regardless of whether they actually deserve it, right? It benefits them either way.
I would not go with that argument though.
So
I would not go with that argument though because that's going to elicit a very emotional response from those people.
Well, I don't care.
What? Right, but I'm talking about
unlike their usual response, which is always non-emotional.
I'm just talking about like in a typical argument with these people. You want, I like my level playing field analogy a little bit better because it plays to logic, and that's just how I've always seen it. And I think it fits pretty well. Anyway, cheers.
All right, let's keep going.
We're really just make sure that these revisionist versions of events are no longer seen as the default. You shouldn't have to go to university and take a niche history degree to learn about the true history of your hometown. It should just be taught in schools as regular history.
Wow.
A history degree. Oof.
Hey, I bet I know somebody with a history degree. I bet he's a limey British cunt.
Everyone else is revisionist. I think I know the truth. I know everything about the history I studied. Like, yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Also, to learn history of your hometown, you don't need a history degree. You
need a library.
Yeah. Or in my case, be lucky enough to have my granddad, who is a local historian. So yeah.
I just go on fucking Google. I'll go to the wiki page.
Yeah, Google. You found where I lived and learned where it was in fucking Saxon times.
To be fair, you sent me an email with your fucking town in it. I don't know your address or anything.
I didn't send you an email.
The use of the word revisionist is weird because it's like, well, if the original narrative was wrong, and you're revising it, then the now more correct narrative based on the evidence, that is still revisionist. It's still revising what the narrative was, but it doesn't. He uses revisionist here as just a universally negative thing. So he means like, I don't know, like Holocaust or some shit, right?
Yeah,
but it's
you've revised it in a way that I don't want it to be.
But that's always happened in history. Is that
to the victor goes the spoils.
History is written by the victor. Yeah.
Now,
I think
because the losers are usually dead.
What we can do here, Dollface, is not revisioning the revisionist history, but rather an acknowledgement. Something that Warner Brothers did with the old Bugs Bunny cartoons and the old Looney Tunes that were really racist. They put on the box sets, and whenever they air, they put a warning, or not a warning, but a label on them saying, a disclaimer, thank you, saying that this was a product of its time, and to act like it never happened would be a more disrespectful than to acknowledge, apologize, and move on. So, an acknowledgement that Christopher Columbus was a piece of shit is okay. But to write him out of the history books because now we've learned that he's a piece of shit, not okay.
Yeah.
You have to keep your history. Because if you don't, you see Rome fall 1,000 times a century.
Yep.
When it comes down to it, The ultimate goal of all indigenous groups and people otherwise subjugated by colonial projects is self-determination. So in many cases, decolonization also means a removal or rejection of colonial rule, or the systems derived from it.
The systems derived from it. That is a broad fucking
that is
statement.
extremely
So you mean-
broad.
Something like a justice system,
So,
legal system.
America was started because of colonialism. That so he that is so broad.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
You guys got anything?
No, it's a
no.
bullshit point. I'm just like no, not.
Nah.
Unscripted sigh.
An example is in the way that in New Zealand, prior to colonization, there was no real stigma against any different sexuality or gender identities.
Yeah,
Being gay, trans.
no.
I mean,
No.
they weren't trans.
Wait,
Prior to colonization, there
No.
So I'm just
in
gonna
New Zealand-
The Maori went like that. Yeah, Maori went like that. No.
The Maori were progressive. Okay.
All right, I'm just typing in transphobia history of New Zealand, LGBT in New Zealand.
No.
Or-
Put in back the Maori because that's who he's on about here.
Hold on. Well, I have the wiki page, and I also have an article from the Guardian.
Oh, don't use the Guardian. Oh dear Lord, dear Lord in heaven.
New Zealand Society pre-colonial. Okay, so this is pre-colonial on the wiki page, and then I can go to sources if you guys want. But it says homosexuality and same-sex relationships have been documented in New Zealand for centuries. Same-sex relationships and activities appear to have been acceptable amongst pre-colonial Maori.
Mm-hmm.
Some stories, for example, that the Teutonikai and Tiki center on same-sex couples. A British missionary, Richard Davis, found homosexual relationships between men to be a familiar part of the Maori life. And although homosexual relationships between women have not been well documented, they were certainly not condemned.
I mean, that's not just there. That's like most places didn't care that much about female homosexuality compared to male homosexuality.
Well, the church is
even-
kind of the only one that cares about that.
Well, even
But I never heard. What was the story, Zach?
Sorry?
Was it the Tiki? What was the story supposed about homosexuality? Was it
Some stories, for example, that of Teutonikai and Tiki.
Teutonikai, Tiki. I'm gonna actually look that up because these are things I've never heard about in regards to that, and I've never heard like.
Wow, see, that's
with
why
Maori
you
history.
Decolonized education because the fact that you haven't heard of that, that's so awful. Clearly, this is really important that you know
Well, it's
that there were some
important.
fucking gay tribes or some shit.
Well, there was importance so that I can actually know, whether it is actual,
Oh,
really
this
big
is
and
interesting.
everything.
Message coming in.
The word
Gotcha.
wakawahini, literally to become a woman, describes those who were assigned male at birth but act, dress, and behave as female, while the term tangata iritani has the opposite meaning, that being a person assigned female at birth but behaves as a male. So,
All right.
But
in
does that-
pre-colonial
is that-
history of
Is that still
New Zealand,
pre-colonial history?
what?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just wondering if it was still pre-colonial.
Yeah, this is pre-colonial.
So
Oh, all right.
So this is just from the wiki page. I'm gonna. So I
but
read
then
that.
again, yeah, citation. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to the citation. I just need to find. Okay, so there's the citation. Go here
I really hope it's not some
on the way
crazy
back.
left-wing thing. I do actually hope it's
what the
actual,
fuck? So
scientifically done.
it's a paper presented at Competing Diversities, Traditional Sexualities, and Modern Western Sexual Identity Constructions Conference. and Mexico City, 1 to 5 June 2005. It's a pretty large paper, so I'm downloading it.
All right. Well, in the meantime, let's read Joe Crazy
Yeah.
Super Chat. Yeah, I remember some disclaimers of old Tom and Jerry tunes, specifically the ones involving the Mammy character. Yeah, sure.
Mammy.
Bunch of cartoons back in the day were inherently racist, but that was a sign of the times. I don't think anyone is inherently offended by them nowadays. It's
To be offended by them now is kind of redundant.
weird. It's silly. It's like, oh yeah, this was 100 years ago. Who cares?
It's like, yeah, they're a product of the time. As it turns out, as society progresses, morals and values change.
Yeah, actually, when I think about it, yeah, it's nearly 100 years ago some of these things came out, and people are getting upset about it. I'm like, wow, okay,
Just
cool.
Just be upset about the things now. Be upset about what you can change, please, for the love of God. Just go after what you can change. If that's, as long as you're not hurting anybody or getting Gina Carano fired, Godspeed.
That's the two things you shouldn't do. Everyone else can get fired, but just not her.
Not Gina Carano. Fuck it. I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah.
I'm
know
looking
what
through
you
this
said.
paper right now. So it's like, what? How many pages long? Yeah, it's 10 pages long.
That's 10
He's got
pages
plenty of
long.
references.
Okay,
yeah, this
cool.
person's got plenty of references.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm obviously not going to read through this whole thing, but
Yeah.
this is apparently the only other document here. So in the next citation, we have Pleasures of the Flesh, Sex and Drugs in Colonial New Zealand, 1840 through 1915. That's apparently a book.
Colonialism.
That's apparently a book that I can't really pull up. There's not
Go
a link
into.
to it.
Right.
Sexuality and the Stories of Indigenous People, written in 2007. And yeah, so I think it's fair to say that according to what I can check here, that wasn't bullshit.
Yeah.
Wasn't necessarily
No, that's
bullshit.
fine. Could you? I'll just go on the Wikipedia. I'll find the that report and everything. I like to have a read up of it. I always like to expand my
here.
knowledge of colonialism.
Yeah, it's fine. I will send it to you.
Cheers, man. It's just something that's never. I have never heard of it, and anything that I've read and watched about the Maori, with the way they used to live and everything, it didn't really come up. But then again,
There you go.
Cheers, man. It could have been just something that wasn't really brought up in those documentaries. So, anyhow.
All right.
Oh.
Let's.
Wow.
We haven't even put a dent in this video. We only went 5 minutes in.
I know.
welcome
Yes,
back.
I know, right? It's like, oof.
So
Well,
dense.
it's just there's a lot to talk about. there's plenty to flesh out and discuss.
Or maybe we're just padding out for views.
No.
Well, shut up. First of all,
I think we've reached the 10-minute mark. I think we're okay.
For now.
However, these are all accepted things. There's even recorded cases of early settlers moving specifically to New Zealand to escape stigmas back home. However, when the missionaries really kicked it up a notch and started compelling people into Christianity through
compelling
various
is
means,
an odd way to put
they
that.
started teaching people that these were aberrant lifestyles and that they should be repressed,
Yeah, almost
which
like the
kicked
church
off
is a problem.
generations of queer erasure from Maori culture. This is why these days a large part of what decolonization means to young Maori is not just the acceptance, but celebration of these repressed identities.
Decolonizing games, by the way.
Celebration of
yeah.
repressed identities? What is that? Which identity?
That's being
Being
that's
gay.
such a nothing.
These people fuck each other in the ass. Clap.
Mhm.
clap.
celebration
that, you
of lost identities. That's
Dollface,
such a
that is a
nothing.
consequence. That is a consequence
Please
you can
clap.
have.
Please clap.
Look,
You
man,
can get clapped from fucking
Look.
people. Yep.
We got
Like-
some gays. Please.
decolonizing games.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Why? Can I just ask something? Why is it with this? Why is it always really boils down to just rampant sex with anybody?
Rampant sex. Where are you getting that?
Yeah, no, really. No, it's just like sex. It's always sex.
Where
We
are you
never
getting
really.
sex?
Well, because the celebration of gay with the Maori and everything like that, it's like, okay, sex is
It's-
one thing, but
Is that inherently sexual?
no, but it's not. But what I mean is, it feels when I see people talk about it, it always just boils down to it's not like gay relationship. It's just like sleeping with another man. It's like there is more to a gay relationship than just sleeping with another man.
But where did
Yeah.
I agree with you? There is the
But
homosexual relationship is just the same as any other relationship, but
yeah, exactly. But what
Com-
what I'm saying is
slightly more complicated.
no, but what I'm saying is these people who start talking in regards to homosexuality do sort of like boil it down to a bare basic thing.
to the sexual. Well, where did Dread boil it down to the sexual aspect?
Oh, I missed the Dread part. Dread. No. But what I'm saying is, as he's just part of this second thing. So he brings up gay sex, but he doesn't like. I think I'm wording this wrong. I'm trying to think.
I'm just wondering where you got the sex thing from. Where the
So,
subject of sex came up.
Dredd said celebrating repressed identities,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
and he was
But
talking
always
about
mentioned,
homosexuality
like,
in Maori.
Homosexuality. Yeah.
Right. But homosexuality
but-
and sex are two different things.
No, it's if you're not fucking, then nobody gives a fuck. You know, like that's
Mhm.
the identity of homosexuality that defines it is that
See,
you want to
what
fuck
we-
people that are the same
Yeah,
sex
so-
as you.
Not even necessarily fuck. They
Yes,
just
it is.
they-
If you don't want to fuck, then it's not a sexual orientation, right? You don't feel that urge to fuck,
Mm.
then it's not a sexual orientation. you
Okay,
know?
so but that sounds
Yeah,
like
so
a semantic
what I mean
argument.
is,
that's
yeah,
that's,
no, but
that's a
what-
very
yeah.
semantic argument, so we can just ignore that.
No, but what
That's
I
what
was
you're
trying to say
celebrating
is
when you're
yeah,
celebrating that identity. You're
No.
celebrating
Yeah.
people who feel
yeah,
the
but these
urge
people, no.
to
Yeah,
fuck
I think
people
the,
of
the
the
problem
same
with, the problem with Zach is what Zach is going like. We don't think of that. You've got to try and put yourself into these people's mindsets of why they do with stuff. And what I'm saying is, what it feels to me, that it always boils down to sex. Or it's when it comes up with homosexuality, it's just having sex with people, and it just seems to me that whenever they mention we've got to celebrate it, what they really mean is let's just have sex with men, and it's great and it's fun, and it's like, well, there's more to it than just that, and we don't seem to
To be
If we were
attracted
gonna
to
celebrate
someone.
homos.
So to clarify, they're not. The Dread is not referring to sexual relationships. I think it's just referring to homosexuality as a whole. That can encompass sexual, like the act of sex, but it's
Mhm.
not beholden to it. You can be attracted
Yes.
to someone of the same sex, but you don't
Yes.
necessarily have to fuck them.
Mhm.
If you don't
So-
feel that urge at all, then what's the point of even calling it a
No,
sexual?
no.
Uh,
See, here's the thing. I know where Zach's coming from, but Zach's coming from the realm of I'll call it reality, as in like Zach can see the other things. I'm talking about the people who bring up, like the people who make these sort of videos. They don't see that sort of stuff, and that's what I'm saying.
How so? That's a general statement.
Not really a general statement. It's one I've just taken from watching these videos.
Where is this? But where has Dread brought up sex for you to make that statement?
It's never mind. Move on. I'll explain after.
I like having these discussions. I just want to know where you're coming from.
We're trying to get into the mind of the YouTuber. It's kind of hard to figure out what he's trying to get at because this video is so long and he's talking about very specific elements.
It's been 5.5 minutes of word soup.
Yeah.
If he had a central theme, if it was just colonialism and that'd be great. But it's repressed identities of sexuality, and you're just like, oh.
Homosexuality has nothing to do with colonialism. Just go.
Apparently, yeah, I would hope so, but he thinks otherwise. I don't know.
Well, he definitely just went onto the wiki page for some fucking reason. I don't know why he went onto the wiki page for New Zealand.
All of these guys do that.
LGBT history of New Zealand.
They try to make a point.
It's probably because Australia doesn't have as good of an LGBT record or something. I don't know.
That was just odd that he brought up New Zealand, of all places. The LGBT history of New Zealand. But yeah, he basically just... excuse me. He basically just summarized the wiki page as for this point in the video, and it's just I'm wondering when the video game aspect of this is going to come in.
Also, I think the Maori are also colonizers of New Zealand.
That's just what humans do. They
colonize
they spread, and they murder.
Because they're part of the Peloponnesian group of peoples who were island hoppers. So, because obviously it's near the Philippines.
They're spreading the gay agenda.
They used to get on the little rafts and float around.
Yeah, they were spreading the gay agenda.
All right, let's go.
We're just trying to quietly reintegrate these ideas. We're trying to right the scales, and we've got over 100 years to make up for.
Quietly. Oh God,
what is
his voice.
Next up is anti-colonialism, which is often confused for decolonization itself. So this refers specifically to taking a hostile stance to colonial structures and influence, whereas there are some decolonization movements that aren't adverse to colonization itself, just the violence that was used to enforce it.
So
you can colonize peacefully as well. Just find an empty bit of land and just go there.
I mean, if you go somewhere and go to the people and go, "Hey guys, do you want to have like a referendum on if you want to be a part of our country?" And I go, "Yeah, okay." Is that colonialism?
Protectorates. You have protectorates.
It's like, hey man,
in the empires.
Hey random country, do you want to be a colony? Like we won't force you. Even if you don't want to, it's fine. But if you do you want to? And they're like, "Yeah, okay." Is that still colonialism? Is that still just as bad?
Yeah. Also, the world was huge in the ancient times.
About,
you could literally go anywhere.
He's talking about decolonization and then anti-colonialism.
Colonialism.
He hasn't really discerned a difference between the two.
Gays.
Oh, right, of course. Hey, Smud.
Yo.
I don't think this video is very good.
No, it's meandering and it's, I don't know. It's not even a shotgun approach. Just sort of like, here's a point, then he spins around. Here's another topic. It's like, yes, that's related to the topic, yes. And then he jumps to another one.
This feels like also, a first draft.
His voice is really boring as well.
And it's upsetting that this feels like a first draft on a fairly highly edited video.
Yeah. I also feel like
obviously he's done some.
Look at how long we've been.
Like obviously he's done some I don't want to say 3D modeling, but yeah, he's made that little animation in the background, and he's got this little speaker thing that pulses with his voice. None of that stuff's not super easy.
No.
It takes learning how to do that, and then effort to actually make it happen. Yeah. And then he's got these splash cards that he pulls up. He's got examples. He's got clips to play. This is all very highly edited, and it's a shame that that effort went into what feels like a first draft script.
Because we haven't really gotten to games yet. I know he's outlining what the different versions of it. It's just like, okay, you could have used some examples of video games at this point, but you used homosexual history of pre-colonialism New Zealand.
Yeah, this is odd, and I'm just wondering why this video exists.
Well, there's plenty of people who like it and upvoted it, so we don't know why.
It's just been word salad and nothing burger.
Let's try for another 5 minutes. And if we still can't stand it, we're just gonna stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just see. Like, let's let him run for a bit, and then we'll.
I'm gonna use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Right.
These
Okay.
are rare, and some would tell you that perhaps they have internalized more colonial ideas than they realize, but they do
Really?
exist, and we can't pretend that indigenous groups the world over are a monolithic entity. So, an example of an anti-colonial narrative would be something like the film Utu, where Tefeke witnesses firsthand the brutality of the colonial forces and retaliates with a violent campaign against them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Indigenization
I guess
is
that was
another
it.
distinct
What? That was it? Here's a movie. Like, what about it? What's your point?
Huh?
Yeah.
That was like the most
Whatever.
non-statement. It's just like nothing was actually said.
Here's this movie moving swiftly on.
Yeah.
So what was it?
Also, has anyone actually heard of that movie before?
You know what would be really great if you talked about Greedfall. Greedfall was a neat game about colonization in a weird fantasy not turn of the century, but like medieval style. So there were flintlocks.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess Renaissance style. Conquistadors and all sorts of other style
What
of
did he say it was called?
Age of Enlightenment. I think that's what
Okay.
you're thinking of.
right. That's probably closer to the time period. And it was repetitive, but for a Spider style. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the company Spider. They did the Technomancer as well. So the same style of experience as that
Alright.
was. Lots of voice acting, lots of back and forth, but it's a colonial style game. It's all about that concept. That would be nice to talk about. Lots of themes there from the ideas of conquering and saving and protecting and preserving.
You have the even the basic. You have the Total War series. You could easily bring up that. There's plenty of things with colonization with that game series. But okay, I guess we're not going to talk about those yet.
Yeah, let's get to the video games hopefully. So we'll find out.
Yeah.
Concept of not just removing colonial influences, but returning to traditional pre-colonial practices and ideology. Again,
Such
there is
as
Die.
So this fucking commie retard thing fucking return to
Indigenization.
tradition? Are you fucking serious? Why is it when it's brown people, it's return to tradition, but when it's white people, it's like, oh, well, your fucking traditions are awful and oppressive.
I'm not seeing the inherent problem aside from violence that colonialism is bad for these people. They're giving them irrigation, roads, sanitation, the aqueduct, etc. They're trying to help their livelihood. Why do you want to decolonize?
No offense, but if we go back to the way the indigenous people used to do things, millions of people are going to starve to death. Millions of people will starve to death.
There's a reason.
There's
Yeah,
no
but
way
we
the-
would have
oh, there's-
peyote.
yeah.
That's a good shit.
There's a reason why they won, and it's successful because they had better technology, better power, better manpower, rather, and they couldn't withstand the onslaught. They were, as you could argue, domesticated into be more humane, more civilized.
Well, and also they give like weapons and horses and shit so that they could fight each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one's saying it's a pretty picture, but it's better than what they had already.
To the victor,
It's what I think one thing was it about India. They always bring up the 1943 famine as a way to show that colonialism was bad. I think during British Empire rule, we managed to cut down the number of famines the Indian subcontinent had in total. Like, famine was such a rare thing under British rule.
But I mean, since the British took over, the Indian population like went way up.
Oh, it boomed. It absolutely boomed.
But you look at that one part, oh look, it's going down here. It wouldn't even have been that big in the first place if they hadn't been taken over by the British.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like losing.
And also, the famine happened during the war. It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't a good thing. I'm not trying to say it was. Yeah, I'm not trying to give any excuse to it. But on the whole, when you look at the entire rule of Britain, and then you look at what came before, you've got to say, you know what? On a scale of things, you've got a better chance of living, which is one of the most important things in life.
But it's just like, but it's also, but the thing I'm the point here.
They have a space program now. Just India has a space program.
What he just said is it's so bizarre that he's suddenly like returned to tradition. When it's indigenous people. And he's not a traditionalist, and then in any other circumstance, tradition bad,
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it's just bizarre for him to say, the indigenous people, the traditional practices.
I'd like to see how an indigenous way of farming will feed the new socialist revolution. So,
All right. Hopefully, we'll see a game that is like specifically about colonization. Like, I don't know. There's a game called Colonization by Sid Meier.
Yeah,
would be nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a heavy overlap of all of these three concepts, but a key point of difference is that because the influence of colonization is so pervasive, it affects the lives of all people living in colonized nations and societies. So, decolonization is work that can and should be done by absolutely everyone.
Why?
Indigenization, however, is something that should be steered by native people. That doesn't mean immigrants or the descendants of colonizers can't encourage or take part in indigenous-led initiatives, but it is crucial that allies know their place in these discussions.
Why?
Wow!
Allies know their place.
Really?
Oh, wait, so what you're saying is the indigenous people should make decisions about things.
Well,
okay.
maybe
So in Britain, what you're trying to say is straight white males can make the decisions. Straight white
Clearly, the indigenous
people.
The indigenous people don't appreciate that diversity is their strength.
Yeah, so the Europeans can actually can control what the Europeans do. Okay, excellent. We're going to colonize the other people because we've got better technology. Thank you.
It's just our culture. Why are you trying
We've made our decision.
Why are you trying to take away our culture, man?
As Queen Victoria said to Shaka Zulu, "Get good, noob." Right?
I cannot believe you really just said allies must know their place.
Know your place.
I'm surprised this guy said Shakaloo.
I would like to see these Native Americans try and decolonize. See how effective that would be.
Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe they don't have open borders. Why these indigenous people? Don't they know? Don't they know?
How many reparations do they need? Like, how much more? How long does this go on for?
Two buffalo hide.
Yeah.
This guy stinks.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Something that is necessary to keep in mind in all discussions of decolonization, anti-colonialism, and indigenization.
Okay.
If you are a colonizer or the descendant of one, and you enter these discussions without actually taking meaningful steps or providing a pathway towards the desired outcome, be mindful that you're not just...
Wait. Did he just say that some of us are colonizers?
Okay, name one colonized country.
Hold on, everyone shut the fuck up.
Tibet.
He's about to go off the fucking rails. I know it.
I think he's already launched himself in the air.
He really started that off with, if you are a colonizer or a descendant of one.
Bruh.
I'm gonna roll that back just a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, everyone,
I feel-
shut
I feel-
the fuck
I feel-
up.
I feel personally attacked.
I need the full
Yeah.
experience.
Colonization, however, is something that should be steered by native people. That doesn't mean immigrants or the descendants of colonizers can't encourage or take part in indigenous-led initiatives, but it is crucial that allies know their place in these discussions. Which leads on to something that is necessary to keep in mind in all discussions of decolonization, anti-colonialism, and indigenization. If you are a colonizer or the descendant of one, and you enter these discussions without actually taking meaningful steps or providing a pathway towards the desired outcome, be mindful that you're not just taking up space in the discussion that could be filled by a marginalized voice. A better use.
Oh my god!
Bro.
If you enter a conversation,
Bruh.
you're taking up a place of a marginalized voice.
Bruh.
So basically,
Certified
you.
problem. Certified problem right there. Wait, is this what? So what is this guy? Is this what? Is this guy a colonizer?
Oh my god!
Or is he indigenous?
I'm a little.
Oh my
I
god!
mean, even if he is indigenous, he probably has some colonizer admixture. So it's what
Why-
do you do then? Yeah.
No, you guys
I'm
are not
not a
focusing on. He
colonizer.
said you are taking the place of a marginalized
Yeah,
voice.
I know. Yeah, I know. He said that. It's all bullshit. I'm just
Oh my
trying to wrap my head
god!
around it. I just,
Oh my god! Dude.
I'm really
This guy
happy.
just won the gold medal of the retard Olympics.
I'm just happy that
Where's that on the?
I can enjoy a frontier spirit like Tennessee bourbon, or Tennessee whiskey rather, and not be a colonizer because that was hundreds of years
You're
ago.
doing it wrong.
Thank you for enjoying my state's whiskey,
There
Smud.
you go. And
well, we all make mistakes in life, don't we?
not have
No.
any guilt associated with that.
I'll fucking do it again.
Tennessee whiskey is
Yeah.
good. Fuck yourself, Hawk.
I'm okay.
Message
Tennessee
coming
whiskey's
in.
good. I'm talking about Tennessee.
Patch it
Go,
up.
colonize.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they still have it. They. Side note on Tennessee, they voted 70% of the vote to keep marijuana illegal in Tennessee.
Illegal?
Illegal to keep it
Huh.
illegal. They don't want it
pretty
legalized.
Pretty
I'm
based.
like, what in the goddamn? What? Why would you do that? 70%. Anyway,
Here is Mr. Nupe. I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. This is straight up fan fiction levels of script writing. I'm not sure what this is.
this is. Yeah, I mean,
I mean, we can at least confidently say that that it sucks.
It is.
I just need to go to his YouTube channel. All right, so we're gonna go to his YouTube channel. All right, I just need to find this video. Ah, decolonizing games, lovely. 12,000 views. Awesome. Kia ora ihoa. This time I'm going to introduce you to a couple of concepts we often talk about in discussions of decolonization. What they are,
Yeah.
how they sometimes overlap,
Message coming in.
and oh my god,
Patch
you
it
didn't
through.
use the Oxford comma, you cunt! And how they affect everything from video games like The Witcher 3, Skyrim, and Greedfall, all the way through to tabletop games like Dungeons and Dragons. While we are focusing on games this time, hopefully after watching, you'll be able to see how these same ideas can apply to movies, books, and even places like museums.
Yeah, bullshit.
Museums?
What museums would take this?
So we are 7 minutes and 13 seconds in. He has not brought. Sorry, 7 minutes and 33 seconds in. He has not brought up video games.
Well,
Or museums. Or films.
Jeez.
Apart from one film with a head. That's about it.
Well, he mentioned Undertale.
As
cool.
is standard, the top 3 links of his description is his Patreon.
Uh-huh.
He first gives credit to somebody who helped him edit the video, and
Oh, that's nice.
Somebody. Oh wow! Audio recording, mix and master. Mix and master plus general help from Greg, and then he links Greg's Instagram. But his first link, Dread's first link, is his Patreon.
Cool.
All right, let's go through the super chats and try to finish off till our 5-minute mark, because I don't think we can take much more of this. Joe Crazy.
Message coming in.
But my descendants were both the Spanish and Central Americans. Where does that leave me? I don't know.
I assume he meant ancestors.
Stop oppressing yourself.
Message coming in.
Yeah, are you just oppressing?
Oh my god.
Are you oppressing yourself, Joe? Oh my god.
Smud. One of the top comments. So Curio just bumped this video.
Oh,
I'm
God.
giving it a watch, and my first impression is your editing style is gorgeous. You've got a wonderful sense for flair.
Curio?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's said by somebody with a transsexual. Well, it's an ampersand. With the trans flag colors. So I don't quite know what that is.
I wouldn't worry about it. I'm already.
The top comment is the only part of this video that offended me was.
Of course.
Please let me get to this, please. Okay. All right. The only part of this video that offended me was you only awarded 10 XP for beating a beholder.
Okay.
What?
A
what?
A beholder in D&D. It's this giant floating eyeball.
It's a floaty eyeball.
Yeah.
Let me read this super chat while you guys process that. Ron Hershin. Sir, could you take this plate back? I ordered a video on games, not word salad.
Video go.
You'll take the word salad, and you'll like it.
Yeah. Damn dirty colonizer.
Here is Rock Suzuki. I'm half black, half white. Does that make me a half colonizer? This guy is what I'd like to be, like to the SJW's final boss. Oh my god. I don't know. I think he's too lost.
I don't know. Zach.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Bears has put on the our sloppy seconds chat. Conquest of Dread is 2% Maori, 98% faggot.
100% reason to remember the name.
Oh dear me. Oh dear me. Oh my. This So if you check the group chat here, this is who we're dealing with.
Oh no.
I don't want
This
to.
is the
Please
final
no.
boss you meet at the end of the SJW path.
Disappointed.
Oh lordy.
Oh no.
Oh dear me. Oh
I know
dear
what I
me.
expected, honestly.
No.
I don't quite. I mean, I like his
Explains
neck
his voice.
tattoo.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
I love a good punk look. He
That's
doesn't
a
really
tattoo.
pull
I thought
it.
it was screwed up on there.
No, it's fine. Look, the neck tattoo. I appreciate a good neck tattoo. It looks like he has tattoos on the side of his head, which is cool. I like that, but that's just.
I hope he's not culturally appropriating with those tattoos.
I'm sure he probably is.
Also, can I just say something? He's not taking up a space of a native.
No. He's like
In this colonizer.
0.1% nid.
Oh, is he appropriating those? I can't tell if his ears are stretched, but is that like a cultural thing that I'm unaware of? That...
Yeah, he does have gauges in, and that can be a
Booby earrings, I think.
they're called gauges, and looks like he's got about, I don't know, 3 half-inch gauge. Yeah.
You know, when you search for that, the first thing that pops up: how do I get my stretch ears back to normal? It's funny.
Oof.
Yeah,
So
you can get gauges. I think they look good, but be careful for your future prospects.
Yeah.
And be sure it's something that you actually want to do.
Also remember to actually take care of them, as in like they can get infected quite easily.
Yes.
Right.
So make sure that you take care of your gauges.
So
I have
as
a
was
friend
saying,
who lost an ear So
Oh god,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you know,
You win some, you lose
you
some.
get what you fucking deserve.
As I was saying,
well, I said that to him. He just went, "What?"
oh. As I was saying, we're going through 5 minutes. We're halfway done, so maybe we'll see a video game in the next 2
No.
minutes and a half.
I'm
Maybe.
Soy Punisher, Django Fett
I'm
lost his
putting-
way, tattoos of the devil, hey Wabbit, want a carrot? Oh no!
I am putting 50 Canadian down, so 50 pence in British money on the table to say no. There's not going to be. He's not going to mention a video game for the next
Alright.
2.5 minutes.
Let's-
Good lord, the fucking most recent video is just the problem with men.
Yeah, it's
The
literally
problem with men.
toxic. The problem with men.
Than with men.
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
Do you know what the problem with men is? Guys like you think you're men.
The problem with men is that you're one of them. Stop.
Is he the authority figure
number
on
one,
men? Is that the thing?
There is. Let me tell you something right now. There's not a single goddamn problem with men. There's not a single goddamn problem with women. It's just
Hey,
fucking
yeah.
dickheads acting up, and then everybody wants to generalize.
There's nothing wrong with men. Pre-colonialism Maoris have taught us that.
You know what? Who the problem is with? Stupid people like you.
hmm
Like,
Okay, 2.5 minutes, guys.
Let's
Do
keep
it.
going. Yeah, we can do this. Oof. Let's do it.
Your platform,
I'm
or
upset.
whatever capital, social or otherwise you have, would be to uplift these voices and provide them with an opportunity to be heard. Think about it this way.
Okay, so this implies these other people.
hey, we're talking about slavery over here. Can I get some Negroes over here to talk about slavery?
So pick your
But I
pick a
thought you're
minority.
also not.
Pick your opposed or whatever you want to state them as, the people who have been conquered, and you want to uplift them or give them the opportunity to be uplifted. What the heck does that involve, sir?
But I've always heard that you can't. What do you call it? Like expecting, like minorities to teach you about like racism in society and teach them about their experience is also bad, because that's like we don't owe you emotional labor, and acting like it's our job to teach you. That's actually white narcissism and like all this stuff.
Yeah,
So
my
it's like, hey, you can't-
response would be, it'd be nice if you just did something, you lazy cunt.
But it's like you
Just do
can't.
anything.
You can't have. There can't be any pressure on them to teach them, even though by their weird fucking call me logic, they're the only ones who are in a position to be able to teach you and not be affected by their privilege because they're the non-privileged group. At the same time, I mean, it's just clusterfuck, man. It's just a clusterfuck of like completely contradictory things.
Yeah.
I'm
Always
rem-
remember that Zimbabwe went back to indigenous ways of farming and everything, mainly because they couldn't use the machinery after they kicked all the white farmers out. That was interesting.
I'm
People
suddenly-
starved to death.
I'm suddenly reminded of, if you want to uplift or tell a story or share your experience in a mainstream way, we have the example of the magical Negro character in movies, who is just there to provide.
Such a great character.
It's a good character, but apparently that would be bad, because putting them in a good light as moral foundations to base a story off is bad, because they're not the hero of this story or something like that. Like, there's always some bad connotation because they're not the focus. It's about someone learning about racism and learning to overcome it through the magical Negro, and that's bad. Like, what is the
That's all
proper
bad.
uplifting
What-
method?
This fucking guy. This is so ridiculous. No longer is common human decency acceptable anymore. It's not. No, what you have a duty to shut the fuck up and let the oppressed people stop. You can't speak anymore,
hmm
because if
Okay,
you
well,
speak,
look.
you're taking away the voice of the oppressed.
Yeah.
It's
But how
no
far back
longer
do we
good enough to
go?
be a good human being. It's no longer good enough to just
Yeah.
not be racist.
Like I say, Smud, you're part Italian, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't go to Smud. Shut the fuck up! Your people enslaved my people in 49 AD or some shit like that. Do you know what I mean? It's like, no. How far back do we go? Oh, it's just us whiteys have got to shut up while the coloured people gather around their little campfire and sort out the world's problems. That's pretty much all he's saying.
Yeah.
So,
the question I asked before was, how far back do we go? Like, this is getting kind of dumb. Like, not just ridiculous, just stupid. You are stupid to think this way.
Yeah, but it's like Britain's been invaded numerous times and conquered loads of times. We just don't give a shit. It's called history. It's in the past. It doesn't bother us. It's thousands of years ago.
I get the idea that we should never forget our history. We have these records of what we did that were bad.
Well, yeah. When I say forget, I mean it's more like it's like, oh, did they? Oh, okay, cool. That's great.
No, not even so much as that. It's an acknowledgement and a learning of, okay, the Trail of Tears, we're never going to have another Trail of Tears again. And you act in every possible way to make sure that doesn't happen.
The Normans, under William the Conqueror, absolutely decimated the north of England to put them under control, since there's still talks of rebellion. Thousands of people starved to death and were murdered by French soldiers in 1067. People forget about that. There were some horrific things that happened under Norman rule in England. Tens of thousands, nearly hundreds of thousands of people were have died horrific deaths in like a short space of time in Britain, with other people ruling us. You don't see us storming like Paris and saying, "Give us our reparations."
No, because
shit.
Here's the argument that's going to be presented against that.
Yeah, but you took over other countries, so you don't get it.
After that, you went around and took over other countries as a British Empire, but that's the argument that's going to be presented against that point. What's your counter?
So the other counter is, so you're saying that not one single African, Native American, or other nation ever had an empire?
Whataboutism. Talking more about British colonialism.
Oh no! That's not that. That's it. No, that's it. If you play that to us, then we just play that straight back to you, because that's the logic they go by. I'm playing by their rules.
So your counter is, okay, if you're going to criticize Britain for their past sins, are you going to criticize African cultures or African tribes for their past sins? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And
if it's no, then it's like, well, then there's no argument here. You're just against a set type of people. And at that point, the debate and the conversation's over. Because there's no learning from it. It is just hatred of a set group of people. So, yeah.
All right. Wow, we haven't even gotten past 23 seconds. Okay.
I'm sick of white devil, white devil, white devil, white man bad, white man bad. It's annoying. I'm not here to be the white man, the white shadow person. Sorry,
but it's especially when it's like it's like pre-democratic, So it's not like it's not like everyone voted on a lot of this empire shit, a lot of this imperialism. It's not like it was like a liberal democracy where everyone had where we all voted on it and we all decided to go and do it in that way. And it's like there were obviously as well lots of people who opposed it at the time, and there's all kinds of records of people who opposed it, but just the fact that they existed at the time, and that means they still benefited from it. So even if you're not even descended from people who are even guilty of anything, at the time, it doesn't matter because you're part of the group. And fuck you, it's just
you've all been taught with the same purpose,
And I just think it's a very, dare I say, slippery slope to go down, to just start. I think it's just silly, and I
don't know what this could possibly accomplish.
It's like
nothing.
And I think the analogy is
it's not to accomplish anything. It's just to keep the division going. It's us versus them. colonizers versus non-colonizers, when in reality none of us are colonizers.
I mean, it's like I'm
We're
trying to
Joe
think of an
Blogs on the
analogy.
streets.
But it's like trying to, like, it's like, say someone like kills a loved one of yours, and in order to get revenge, you blow up
dear.
your own house to like to kill people that did the thing, right?
I wouldn't even say that.
And it's
I wouldn't
like,
even say that because a lot of what the left does, and this is just gathering from the circles that I run in and Twitter and everything, because I hang out with everybody.
Oof.
A lot of what they do is they frame their movements as just calling for common decency. So I don't support Black Lives Matter because of
You're a
their
racist.
oh my god, you literally hit black people. Oh my god.
yeah, I guess.
Oh my god, you literally want to fucking kill all the blacks. I can't believe that.
No, I don't support Black Lives Matter because of their manifesto, and they call for the defunding of the police and so on and so forth.
But it's not political. It's just
But it's not
basic
political.
human rights. It's not political. It's just basic human rights. Yeah.
And when it comes to something like that, is a major point for Black Lives Matter. I don't support that. Is there an argument to be had about, or is there a debate to be had about, can we reduce funding on the police and send specialized teams out to, like, say, nonviolent calls? Yeah, there's a debate to be had there, and we can discuss it. But to have defunding the police be a cornerstone of your movement is ridiculous.
Yeah,
So I don't
but
support Black Lives Matter. That's just one
Yeah.
example. The second, you can't even get to any of that.
Yeah,
But
I will say
don't
one
support
thing.
Black Lives
I
Matter.
will
Oh,
say.
so
I will
black-
say. I
all
will
black
say.
people.
Yeah.
Hold on. Don't talk over me.
Yeah, I thought you'd finished. Sorry.
No, the second you say, I don't support Black Lives Matter, and you pause to take a breath, they jump on you and say, oh, so all black people should just die, huh? Like, no. I support civil rights for everybody. Everybody should have equal rights. Everybody deserves happiness. Everybody deserves happiness, but it's the way you go about it. And the left will always try to portray it as, no, we're just fighting for equal rights, and we just want black people to stop being killed by the police, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, I agree. Police brutality is a problem. How do we get rid of it? Get rid of the police. Okay, so
But
how about we have more than
replaces
2
it.
weeks of training? How about we have more than 2 weeks of training for the police?
But it's.
I went through 9
the
weeks.
framing.
9 weeks of basic training for the army. 9 weeks of basic training to learn how to be a soldier. And I swept floors most of my service.
But I think the thing that annoys me is the framing of clearly political views as, oh, it's just basic decency, or it's just basic human rights, or it's just we're all we're calling for is just basic, just being a good person, just being a decent person, like, and as if it's not like very specific ideology. But it's no, it's just basic human rights. That annoys me.
The wording that they use is exactly the same wording as was used in the Cuban Revolution with Castro, which is highly ironic. Just what I'd say. Most of the stuff they talk about is literally what Castro was saying before he pretty much ousted all the gays.
A lot of the
became a
left's
dictatorship.
arguments. Sorry. A lot of the left's arguments are appeals to emotion, but
Yes, because you can control them. You can control people's emotions.
I think most of us, with the exception of Hawk, like to view things very practically. You're a dad, so a lot of us look to view things very practically and say, how can this change?
I have a son. Whoa, I'm crazy.
I have a son.
Yeah, you're a dad. Shut up. So we try to view how one change can affect the million of other things that are connected to it, and what the ramifications could be. The left often wants to get rid of guns entirely. The example they point to is Australia. Australia hasn't had a single mass shooting event or mass murder since the 90s when they had their last one.
People still get shot, though.
People still get shot, yes. I'm not disagreeing. Yes,
it wasn't having that many before, anyway.
Hold on.
But
Hold on. And yeah, there's certainly a debate to be had there. However, Australia has much better educational programs, social programs, because their population density is far less than ours. So their situation versus America is apples and oranges. So you have the left pulling out Australia example, but the Australia example doesn't apply to America and our gun problem.
Well,
I recognize that we have a gun problem, but it's just
it's like trying to say about the UK. Yeah, it's like trying to say the UK, the US. It's like, well, why can't the US be like the UK? It's like, well, there's a lot of difference between.
I would never
want
to live in the UK.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. And yeah, that's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is when people go like, yeah, but in the UK we don't have this problem. It's like, yeah, but you've got 327 million people. We've got 68, and also, density and, the stuff. There's so much difference between nations. You can't get them
in Northern Ireland we don't have this problem. We just car bomb people because we don't use guns.
And you've only got like what 40 people there or something. So
not anymore. After that car bomb last week, we only have 38.
Yeah. I don't know. Paddy's okay. He's just got no legs.
Okay. Okay, let's keep on going. Here's Fran Mataraki, a donation. Thank you, sir. Sounds like Jake the Surgeon needs to come and colonize Dred's booty cheeks, and set him straight.
Fran, you could have stopped at, sounds like Joe Crazy needs to come.
Oh, dear.
That is true.
And here's Ron Harusha. This was a joke from, I think, well, not a joke, but this was a comment that Hawk made. Wait, the French did a thing?
Yes. God damn it, not again.
Yes, they did do a thing 1,000 years ago. That's true.
Of course.
Why won't they ever just stop? The fucking French, why don't they just stop, man?
And
yeah.
Fucking stop it.
Going back to the left and the right perspective, I've said it before, I'm a moderate left, and I like to debate both sides and get as many perspectives as I can, because when you talk to everybody and you get as many perspectives and ideas as you can, eventually you're going to find a nugget of truth. And that's what I like to do. I love having debates with people. And funnily enough, I was debating my previous commander when I was his driver for a training mission. And we were talking about how Trump cleared out that church square so that he could do a photo op with a Bible in front of the church during the BLM riots.
Figures.
Prior to that, the protesters were cleared to be there, were not interrupted at all. They were very peaceful. Obviously high energy, but still peaceful. And then the tear gas came in and pretty much just cleared everybody out. I was very critical of that. And my commander was basically like, well, if they were standing in his way, what is he supposed to do? Just not do the photo op? I'm like, yes. Sit your ass down. Don't fucking break. You're not the king, god, emperor of fuck mountain. You're President Trump. Sit your ass down. And so I took the left approach there. He obviously took the right approach. But whenever you go up against I would go more into detail, but it was a while back, so I can't remember the full conversation. But he got into very practical arguments of these.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
All right. Okay, let's keep going then. Again, we still have 2 minutes to go. One more donation from Tyler Preston. Thank you, sir. I've seen this dude's video on Greedfall, and it's absolute shit. He haven't played the game, made completely stupid judgments based on what the game's about. He then went on a tangent about a character's face tattoo being cultural appropriation. Really? If you guys don't know Greedfall, there's a whole... There are face tattoos in the game, but there's also this whole disease going around which affects the body, and it looks like a tattoo as well. So if you didn't actually play the game, you wouldn't know that. But
Alright.
it's a good game. It's not amazing. It's just a budget double A game, whatever you call those games.
It's fine.
It's good.
Yeah.
I do like playing those games.
So there's
Games.
Does Augie?
Yeah, I only play games.
To very briefly summarize what I was talking about earlier. I'm sorry, I kind of rambled.
Let's ramble more.
Carry on.
Ramble more. No, just very brief. The right tends to be more practical, even if sometimes their logic is flawed. The left, in most circumstances, will go for anecdotal and emotional appeals.
Yeah.
Yep.
Generally speaking.
One thing I thought was very silly was seeing Black Lives Matter supporters saying, well, 93% of the protests are peaceful. And it's like, well, would you accept that if it's the police? If the police is, well, 93% of them don't commit police brutality. You obviously wouldn't accept that argument. And the whole argument of, well, if only some of them do the bad thing, but all the rest of them allow it to happen, then they're just as bad. But when it's their own protests, they don't actually apply the same standard.
There's a huge protests. So that's again apples and oranges. You can't really compare a disjointed protest with riders going around smashing windows to an organization. That's
there is an organization. There is a Black Lives Matter organization.
There is an organization.
Right?
Hold on. I'm talking about there's an office building called a police station where the police tend to congregate. Yes. They're not beholden to it. But
there's still people saying
it's a very different organization from a protest group.
I think it still applies because there's still high-profile people saying that the sort of there should be unrest, saying riots are the voice of the unheard, saying, well, that's what you should expect when blah 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 blah. So it's not, there's all these excuse making and saying that it's basically justified. So even if it's a decentralized movement, it's still there. There's so many people that aren't actually doing the violence.
Yeah,
but are still
the major problem is that if they're lax on that, what else would they be lax on? As in, like, oh well, it's okay for this. It's okay for this. Once you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. But this isn't about BLM. It's about decolonizing games. So let's just see if we can get this next 2 minutes done.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
What is more important, the message or your need to be the one saying it?
Problematic faves.
Oh! What the hell is that? Problematic faves. What is this?
Ding.
Faves?
Problematic.
Fave.
Oh my god,
There you
ding!
go.
Let's get dings in the chat.
There you go.
Faves.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
Now that we've done that housekeeping, another thing we need to keep in mind is that everyone has problematic faves. Things that we love or have grown up with that mean a lot to us, even though they contain some shitty ideas. But I think if we truly love something, we need to hold it under a microscope and examine its flaws. It's like a relationship.
God,
do you
what a
really
fucking
love somebody
insufferable,
despite their
pretentious fucking
shortcomings?
wanker.
Or do you just love a perfect idea of them? It's possible for us to know that society's objectification of the feminine form is...
Objectification of the female form. Oh my god.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, so is this feminist
Also,
drivel
just-
or is this toxic masculinity?
Yeah.
Which one? I always get this confused.
confused.
Dude,
I just tick
like,
both just to be
decolonizing
safe.
games.
The hell does that have to? The hell does this have to do with decolonizing?
Also,
Dude.
problematic favourites. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Fine.
female form is
Decolonizing games.
problematic, therefore
Problematic. Yeah.
I have a problem with it. What?
Yeah. I can't. It's problematic. I can't get enough of it.
There is nothing wrong with the female form, okay? It looks good
Yeah.
in most cases. That's why we like it. Okay?
Yeah, and there's a reason.
It
we
looks
don't-
good, and,
There's a
and
reason
sometimes
fat
it
shaming is
tastes
a
good.
thing.
It tastes good.
Fat
It's
shaming,
not,
kind
it's
of a
not
good
candy,
thing.
Hawk. It's not,
Well, for the younger audience members, I'm not going to say what I was on about.
okay.
Shut up, Hawk. My brain hurts.
So we went from decolonization to problematic
Shoving
whatever. How did these two things intersect?
shoving your loved one under a microscope.
I'm this close to
Yay.
slamming my fucking balls in a waffle iron and screaming racial slurs at the top of my lungs.
What? Play that again. What the hell?
No.
I'm this close to slamming my fucking balls in a waffle iron and screaming racial slurs at the top of my lungs.
Wow.
Fucking. Oh.
You really can't do the SpongeBob laugh, can you?
Anyway, decolonizing games.
Yes. Go on.
Problematic.
Women.
While still celebrating Bubba Sparks' seminal hit, Miss New Booty, for the absolute banger that it is.
Wait, what?
Coming in.
What in the god?
Wait.
Oh my! Wait.
That was it?
That was the whole
What
stick?
song, what song was that? What song
Video
was that?
games. What? My brain just broke in half.
So
Wait a
now
second.
we're finally at the video games.
So
Hold on, I'm rolling it back.
Do you really love somebody despite their shortcomings? Or do you just love a perfect idea of them? It's possible for us to know that society's objectification of the feminine form is problematic, while still celebrating Bubba Sparks' seminal hit, Miss New Booty, for the absolute banger that it is.
and that's it. That's his point. He has no explanation. He has no analysis. It's just
What?
use a microscope and appreciate the female form, even if it's a problem. You're like, what does that mean? What is the problem?
What the fuck?
Why would you do this? Why would you wake up in the morning and do this?
Just to suffer.
I just.
Can you imagine this guy at like an art gallery? It's like, look at this beautiful statuette of a woman. It's so problematic, but I can still appreciate it. It's like, what is wrong with you? What-
I just be like, why am I? Does anyone want to like swap places with me? Just-
This.
I'm ready to tag out. Oh my god.
This guy's insufferable. It's
Well,
like, dude,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's so much wrong, like down to the editing, down to oh my god. I didn't realize it was possible to do literally everything wrong with a video essay, other than hit the upload button.
all he's doing is, I have an opinion, bang, next topic. Like, what? Excuse me?
Evidence. Well, this song's really good. I've never
Dude.
heard of it. I've never heard this song. Ever.
Dude.
And also,
Alright.
it looks like an oldish song. I don't know.
It's just the filter that he has over it. It's
All right.
Okay, I assume so.
Message
I don't
coming
really
in.
care. But he has got the video games.
Patches.
Yeah, let's
So-
keep going. Okay, so here's Joe Crazy, but there are also statues of muscular men. Yes, exactly. There's plenty of commercials and appealing to the female gaze, or whatever the hell you call that, for heterosexual women.
God, what is that? What is that? Obscure statue of a naked guy that no one ever
Oh,
talks about.
wow.
Oof, God.
Here's
Oh,
Joe Crazy.
David, yeah.
Here's Joe Crazy. The heck does Bubba Sparks have to do with this, dude? We don't know. It was so
Who's
random.
Bubba Sparks? I don't know. I don't know.
Just don't even think about it. This guy is just making a point and dropping it and jumping to another one.
Video game.
So recently I made a video about an RPG that came out by the name of Greedfall, which had a pretty colonial narrative. However, my video was about the way that the game misappropriated traditional Maori tattooing, not the colonial themes. A lot of people own...
It's a fictional world with fictional tribes. They could do whatever the flying shit they want.
Mm-hmm.
They're not appropriating anything. It's art.
Yeah.
Artists are inspired by whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Also, do you think the Maori are the only ones who ever had face tattoos?
Why he
Something
narrowed
tells me
in on
the
those
fucking-
guys, I don't know.
Somebody tells me the statute of limitations on the fucking copyright of the fucking Maori designs is probably passed. I suspect. I don't think the copyright is quite lasted that long. I suspect it's probably in the public domain. That's my guess.
Zach, you can stop that music.
No, I was vibing. I was just straight up vibing.
All right.
I'm just rolling up my newspaper and whacking Zach. No, we're getting through this last bit.
only watched the first or so and assumed it was a narrative I was condemning, which, for the record, does suck, but that wasn't the point. The point is that the theft of a Maori art form is an act of colonization, and it would have been regardless of the themes of the game. The colonial LARPing stuff is just the icing on the cake.
What
No
LARPing
condom
stuff?
forever, or whatever.
What is he talking
Whoa,
about?
whoa.
There's no
Including-
LARPing.
Back to Marvel
including the
again. What the
design.
hell?
Including a fucking design of a tattoo is equivalent to stealing an artifact.
There is no LARPing in the. You literally pick people up across multiple regions of the game, and they are part of some of the natives. Some of them are part of the conquerors. Some of them are just there. They come with you. One's a pirate.
Mhm.
It's like, what's wrong with that? It's
Yeah.
a game. They have characters from different backgrounds that all trust and come with you.
Yeah, but Smud, one of them's got a face tattoo, and that's...
This is like arguing the characters in Mass
Racist.
Effect are I don't know, appropriating.
Oh! Victorians! They've got facial tattoos. Are they appropriating Maori customs?
Wait, who?
Victorians. Victorians. Garrus.
Well, he's not a
No,
Praetorian.
Mass
Oh yeah.
He's not a Praetorian.
No, Turian. I said Turian.
Oh,
I didn't say-
Turian. I'm sorry.
Turian, yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
it's like-
Turian, yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
Praetorian.
sorry,
is
it's
the
like
one.
the ro-
Like, excuse
Oh,
us
sorry.
for mishearing it as Praetorians.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I must not say that good in my mic. Sorry.
The Turians have face tattoos. The Asari have face tattoos. Some of the Solarians do as well. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
The SoundCloud rapperians.
So
The one, well, with Mass Effect specifically, the one I remember off the top of my head is that the Turians, the ones had the face tattoos signify where they're from. Is that was the reason?
yeah,
The
there's a-
post-Malonians.
While being barefaced is a sign.
Well, really,
of,
it was the pre-Malonians,
a liar.
but then they were taken over by the post-Malonians.
So him stretching out his earlobes, is that not appropriating African culture or something?
Yep.
It's appropriating my will to live.
hmm
Okay, we got 40
Yeah.
seconds left. Let's do this.
I don't.
This is a huge thing that is often hard to explain to people. Colonization affects us in more ways than just like seeing statues and movies about the guys that committed genocidal acts against our ancestors. It's the theft, historical and contemporary, of parts of our culture and identity, often for the material gain of others.
Dude,
A better case was the game Prey. Not the recent
Really?
one, but the first one from back in 2006.
What?
The lead
What?
character was a young Cherokee guy named Damasi. And during the production, Michael Greyeyes of the Plains crew was hired as a voice actor for him. And though he was initially impressed with the way Damasi was written, they still made significant changes to the character and themes of the game based on his input. While this was ultimately a good thing, there were still some pretty corny elements which could have been improved by just hiring native writers and designers in the first place.
Shut up. Oh, shut up. Oh, they did all this extra work to make it feel like it was a Native American, but they didn't do enough. It wasn't enough. They could have hired people who were actually Native American.
Can I just say, you literally, after this scene, you literally get abducted by aliens. And then the rest of the game spent on a fucking spaceship.
What does this guy want?
What the fuck
Nothing
are you
is good
actually... What
That's
are
what
you...
I said earlier. That it's no longer good enough to be a good human being. It's no longer good enough to not be racist. It's no longer good enough to be authentic. Nope. It's never good enough. No matter what you do, no matter how conclusive you are, it's never good enough.
So, if you, as a white person, write a story with
Fuck
some
off.
brown people in it, then that's still bad, because that's still
You're appropriating black.
You should have hired a writer of that ethnicity
To
but
write
also,
that
if you
specific
don't include
section.
them- if you don't include them, then wow, how dare you? Where's the diversity, man? Where's the representation? So you.
I
Can't
just want to.
It was already there, and you took it out.
I just want to note, by the way, everybody, we've entered the area where even Smud has started cursing.
Yeah, this is getting sad. Like he is coming up with stupid, like, I don't know, 1 paragraph statements, and then moving on and saying this is bad because they didn't do enough of this. Even though
that's a section.
It's so vapid. He went from decolonization into sexism and objectification and then race. All this other It's like, is this all these guys do? They find one topic to entry into a conversation and then just ramble on about every other crap that's in their head.
Basically.
Yes.
Well, at least it's better.
Smud,
At least it's
welcome
better
to
than talking
Smudcast.
about other people's videos
Message
with a
coming
bunch
in.
of 40-year-old men.
Patching it through.
Curious.
Welcome to the internet, Smud.
Dude, fuck this guy.
Indeed.
Yeah, this. I can't believe he brought up
And we're already
Prey.
at the 10-minute mark, so we can shut it off.
He brought up Prey as just you could have brought up. How old is this video? This
2 years.
decolonizing. 2 years, is it?
Yeah.
You could have brought up Red Dead 2. They have a Native American thing, and that's well done. It shows the plight, but also stuff like that. So, but Prey from you're a fucking spaceship.
my
doesn't
favorite
matter, is it?
hobby, cherry picking.
Oh, this scene in this game doesn't have that much in it. You're in a bar on a reservation for like 10 minutes, and then you get abducted with your girlfriend, and then you fight aliens. Don't give a shit about representation of Native Americans. It's not the point of the game.
Fucked. Smud, would you say that we've given an honest shot at countering this guy's arguments?
There are no arguments. He's just saying statements
for the sake of discussion.
And we passed the 10-minute mark, so I'm pretty much done here. But it's just so vapid. I don't know how these people operate. It's just nonsense. It's just, I think X. Like, so? Who cares?
You have to make me give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, step 1 of essay writing, make reader give fuck. Like, that's as base as I can get. If there's one thing I can tell you about essay writing, make me give a fuck about what your shitty brain has to tell me on paper.
Make me actually want to get to the next sentence.
Do you ever?
No, just don't even have to make it wordy, Hawk. Just make me give a fuck.
Did you ever have a?
No. But as in, like, when you listen to him, make the person want to go. I want to carry on listening to what you're saying. That's like what you're saying. Just get to the next sentence. If you make someone go, I don't even want to read the next word or hear the next word, you failed miserably.
You ever have a dream where you?
No, I don't dream anymore, Dollface.
Where you could do so much, you could do anything.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
I have these horrible dreams that I'm on this like Canadian like stream with other people, and it's utter hell on earth. I keep pinching myself.
We go the extra mile, so you don't have to.
Release me.
All right, let's get some super chats done and call it an evening because this is just this is a
This
waste.
is depressing.
This is silly. Friend Mataraki, don't show him Turok then. Oh, I guess that wouldn't work very well. No.
Oh,
Is that the original Turok or
No,
the latest
no.
one? Because I remember the original one. So
I mean, kind of doesn't matter. Just don't show them to this guy.
yeah.
yeah, because yeah.
And here's Roan Hirushin. Oi, I like that version of Prey. It was fine. Old
Yeah,
game?
nothing wrong with nothing. Yeah, nothing wrong with that version of Prey. Yeah, it's just the fact that you don't really
They didn't hire enough Native American writers.
for a 10-minute segment. For a 10-minute segment that you pretty much forget about as soon as you.
Yeah, the story is not about the bar. I mean, they bring it back in the last part of the game for story reasons, but yeah, it's nothing
Thanks
to
for
do with
spoiling.
it.
Yeah, for the sake of bookending it, yeah.
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 Dude. This entire video was just malicious.
hmm
Vapid.
I-
It's a really good word.
I don't actually know if we should actually do a second part to this
No.
like, to get
No,
through it.
he
No,
is-
I'm just like
No.
no.
He is
Oh
worthless.
yeah, no. I'm saying no. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, if
Anything
people go like,
anything
oh,
this guy says is just fucking worthless.
Mm.
He's step one of writing essay. Make me give fuck. He has already failed step one. Step two
He
is
used
don't
long
fuck up,
words.
and he fucked up.
He used big words though.
Yeah, right.
Big words.
It's like listening to Xander Hall. Like he's just vapid to begin with, so he ends with whatever he's rambling on about. This guy, here are some fancy terms and things I care about. Here's another fancy term. It's like, dude, what's the point? What are you getting at?
None of it fucking matters.
How did we get to objectifying women? Where did that come from? Was that in colonizing women? Did we rape and plunder them?
Just to suffer.
Like what happened?
Yes, just to suffer.
You can't just collect all of your nonsense together in a wheel and spin it and go, okay, now we're going to talk about this. It's like, that's not related. Anyway, I think this is a good evening to stop, or a good time to stop.
a good evening. A good evening to.
Yeah, I want to say good
Yeah.
night
What a
right now and just
wow.
go get a drink because I'm like, oh, that one
Yeah.
whiskey was great. Like I was really happy, so I was pretty chilled this entire time. But then
What,
he just started
what a
jumping.
200th episode this has been.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Jesus.
It's fine.
Man, it's a real shame we still have 20 hours of this podcast left.
Yeah. Well, anyway, guys, next time in the suggestions I'm going to be looking at tonight and tomorrow morning, I'll be refilling the voting. I'll be refreshing them as well. Please give suggestions on Steven Seagal videos we can watch, because I'll be making my own private Steven Seagal channel just to list them all. And we're going to be having themed Fridays for all of our wonderful topics, whether it's a person we've covered a lot, let's say Renegade Cut or Maggie May Fish. But we will be doing Steven Seagal ones now, and maybe we'll be doing, some people recommended doing Fight Club choreography. We look at either actual fights or video fights in movies.
All right.
So it depends on what is the popular topic. I'll do a little post on the community tab to make sure that's what you want to look at, as well as our normal movie nights, which Voice in the Radio usually covers. And we need recommendations for that. So keep the suggestions coming. Please get creative. Go different. Go crazy. Look at different YouTubers, not just the ones that we know, because my God, they are still there and their lists are large. So
Yes.
please
I'm
mix it up.
getting larger.
Yeah, it's going to take all year to get through them. So that's why we're spacing it out. So
Also, Mark and 3D. Yes. Seagull. Seagull.
Seagull.
Seagull.
There's no chant for
Steven Seagal.
Message
for
coming
the
in.
I know
patron
you're
saint
saying,
of
saying Steven
That's
Seagal,
Smudcast.
but it just sounds like the bird seagull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here, all right. Here's Criminal Imagination. Thank you for the 10. The game is good. That's all you need. I liked it. Wasn't great. Wasn't bad. Fun game.
Mhm.
There's nothing grand scale about our culture, other than it's ours. He probably isn't native, so he's got no room to talk. Yeah, he's pretty much white bread kind of fellow. So
Oh yeah. He's
Mhm.
so white bread.
I
I just
There we
this
go.
video
I'll
is
just
this
put-
video is actually just on me, to be honest with you. I was like, ugh.
Interestingly
Also,
enough,
Yeah.
in the chat
if
there.
you look at my
yeah.
my bingo, it's all spaced out evenly. I didn't know how that worked out. But
yeah,
capitalism bad, colonialism bad, straight white male bad, problematic, feminist drivel, because I don't know why he threw that in there. And then the rambling, because that's pretty much all he did. This video was just jump and jump and jump in fancy ways.
you actually got a bingo.
No, it spaced out. Like,
Oh my god!
Yeah, because he never said America bad. He pretty much dodged that one. Well, he makes bold claims without evidence. You could have had that one.
okay.
I will say he did. The one thing he did not fuck up was the LGBT New Zealandism. The only problem is it wasn't relevant to the fucking topic.
Yeah.
Mr. Luke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you could probably do host has a creepy face, annoying voice.
We didn't see his face.
You can do ism.
I know, definitely
also
annoying voice.
for ism for racism.
Yeah, ism, phobia, you can do that. He didn't do Orange Man bad.
Oh, diversity representation matters. Yeah, he did say that mattered.
I guess,
Yeah,
yeah.
that too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Says nothing of
Talks
value.
verbose,
Yeah,
please.
you could definitely put up says nothing of value.
I think LGBT shit where there isn't any. I think.
No.
No,
he,
no. He did.
No?
He did actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
Actually,
was like the one thing he didn't fuck up, but it still was flawed because he didn't.
It was pointless.
It wasn't. Yeah, it was pointless.
Yeah.
Get. Oh dear. Why? I don't know.
Poorly researched topic.
I don't know. I honestly don't know what the topic was after a certain point. It just sort of amalgamated into.
Yeah.
I don't know why I
That
keep
was,
getting yeeted out of calls like this.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well.
Anyway,
Welcome
guys,
to my
I don't
world.
want to take up your time anymore, but I do appreciate you for coming on and having a great little crazy video to watch.
I'm glad my knowledge of colonial
Okay,
history was
I was gonna say
useless.
before I got cut off. You can mark. I think you can mark says nothing of value.
I would
But,
want to do that, but I'm sure the people in the comments think there's some value in there, because or else people wouldn't have been saying good stuff about the video. I didn't get that far in the video. I don't care. So maybe there is something in there. We didn't watch the other 2/3.
We gave it an
I mean,
honest,
yeah, true.
an honest shot.
Probably.
We gave it an honest shot, and to be clear, we gave this video the same treatment we give everything we cover.
Mhm.
This was just a little too much nothing, but happy number 200 Smudcast, everybody!
Yeah, and before we leave, Tyler Preston, the
Message coming
$2.
in.
I warned you, didn't trust me. It gets worse.
Don't worry. We know this.
I'm not.
As far as every
We know
Smudcast
this.
goes, it's going to happen. So, thank
Yeah,
you
we're not-
either way,
we're not
guys.
gonna-
We
we're not going any
appreciate all the
further.
time and super chats and chatting and crazy jokes and whatever soundboard shenanigans Zach gets into. We appreciate it all. We thank you so much for your time. Keep the suggestions coming. Try some Seagal ones just because I'm making a new list. It'd be great if you could fill it in for me. So thank you so much, and good night. We'll talk to you real soon.